been injured in an accident? One thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, back and better than ever on Thursday, July 10th. Already the 10th of July, 2025 on The Monty Show, as always, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. I'll say it again, but I say every day. And I appreciate Rodney reaching out to me on Insta Snapface Graham Talk.
Hey, Rod.
Asking me about, hey, I stepped in a pothole in a parking lot and broke my ankle. Yes, you should call the Advocates. Absolutely. That pothole shouldn't have been there. You didn't deserve to break your ankle. You do deserve an advocate. You don't deserve to get bitten by a dog, but you do deserve an advocate. Make yourself whole. The pain, the suffering, the missed work, the mental anguish. You deserve to be compensated for that. Go to somebody who's going to give you clear, risk-free advice, and they're not going to ask you to pay them a penny out of pocket. That's the Advocates. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Literally wherever you are, whenever you want, get at the Advocates on theadvocates.com. And if you're in a hospital, if you've been in a car accident with a truck or you got hurt at work, they'll FaceTime with you. They will come and see you. It doesn't matter, however you need to be served at theadvocates.com. How the heck are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody who watches this show. Awesome day yesterday on the X platform. Thank you so much for that. I actually talked to a guy from the X platform today trying to tell me, well, you've reached a peak in an all-time high in interactions and viewership on your video. Like, you guys are pushing it, and I really appreciate everybody who watches this show on X. You need to come over to YouTube. Just get on Google, search The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show, and come to YouTube, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up. You want to be super, super cool and pimp? Hit the notification bell so every time we post a video, Jake works really hard to cut really crappy highlights of the show, according to Pac-12 fans. You all can watch all of our highlights, our full show replays, you name it. It's at YouTube, The Monty Show. Audio podcast everywhere you are. Couple of shout outs before we get to work on the Big 12. Yes, Mountain Mama.
And by the way, really quick,
Mike Smith.
bro, we're not moving to mornings. Can I got like
Why
4
are people
DMs.
saying that?
Dude, we do a replay. We replay the show in the first part of the day for the folks who can't catch the live show in the afternoon. It's a replay. So tomorrow morning at 5:15 Pacific-ish, what would that be? 9:15 Eastern. The replay will go live.
8:50.
It says Monty Show live replay. Just so we're not going back to mornings. We're not.
Settle down.
Relax. Jesus.
You guys, I'm not doing it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not getting back up that early. Roche, hello. Utah suddenly has a deeper QB room than BYU. Facts. No doubt about it. Poop pants. No, Mike, don't just hit it, smash it. Too good to see you, Matt Ritson. Matt Ritson, where the hell have you been? Good to see you, my guy. Toot Pants says, this is odd to me. Iowa State, which didn't receive a single championship vote, received 7 runner-up votes. All right, well, let's get to it because there's a lot of people tossing this idea around. Who's the best team in Big 12 football? And the guy that I'm going to point to is Avery Johnson. We talked about Avery at length on this show the last several football seasons, and I have told you I haven't been a believer in Avery Johnson at K-State. I haven't seen it on the field. I haven't seen it in big moments, and it's much the same feeling I have about Lamar Jackson in the NFL, for instance. I need a quarterback who in a big moment with a championship on the line, a trip to a championship game, a trip to a college football playoff, the Kansas game, the biggest games that K-State's going to play in a year. I need Avery Johnson to be a fully functioning quarterback who can stand in the pocket and deliver the football. Hell, you need him to roll out. Hey, fine, roll out, plant a foot, throw the football. Avery Johnson at no point in his time in Manhattan has shown you the ability to stand and deliver the football. And I think there was a lot more pressure on Avery Johnson last year because Will Howard left, went to Ohio State, and we all know what happened. He dominated. They dominated. The single greatest run we've ever seen by a college football team. Ohio State, led by K-State, cast off Will Howard. Whether you believe that, agree with that, it almost doesn't matter. That is the narrative that was told. Avery Johnson was not nearly the performer that Will Howard was. And at some point, Avery's got to step up. But one thing I know for sure, Jake, is K-State's only going as far as Avery Johnson's going to take him.
Absolutely. And I think, if you watched K-State last year, you saw the limitations of Avery in bigger moments. Now, I think the guy is fantastic. I think he's very talented. Obviously, another year under the belt, another summer of development. So obviously he's going to be a better player this year. But seemingly every single year that he's been at K-State has been the preseason, Cinderella that everyone expects big things from and is in the conversation, but just isn't quite at that top cut. They've always seemed to be a second tier team in terms of who's going to win the Big 12. So again, I'll believe it when I see it. Do I think he's got it within him? Yes, I do. But he's got to show me his throwing mechanics have improved. He has to show me he actually has a command of the offense, right? And it's not just, hey, we're going to either run option or we're going to get the ball out quick. Because that's what I feel like it is for the most part. Yes, is there the occasional deep shot? Yes, the guy plays quarterback. Occasionally he'll throw it down the field. But there's a difference between being a dual threat quarterback that feels a lot more comfortable running and happens to throw every once in a while versus a guy that is just as dangerous with his arm as he is with his legs. And that's what Avery Johnson needs to be, just as dangerous with his arm as he is with his legs. So for me, I think there's proving to do there. I just think that the reason you see the coaches poll lighting it up for K-State is because, coaches look at that offense and they're like, well, it's going to be hard to stop. For me, though, I don't like them as the championship favorite in the Big 12. And I would agree with the commenter who said, this concept of Iowa State getting all these second place votes. Listen, if you're a Rocco Beck guy and you think Iowa State's going to be amazing because they got their top 20 back who all took pay cuts and their coaching staff's got a bunch of continuity on it. Yeah, will they be good? I'm sure they will. But you didn't prove to me last year that you could beat the best of the conference, which would have been BYU, ASU. Like you
certainly Colorado was in that discussion.
Colorado, in this year, this conference figures to be deeper with the changes that Utah made. I'm not going to sit here and say that Oklahoma State's going to be any better because I don't think they will be, no. but some people will tell you that. So I just think that we take these coaches polls and we're like, oh man, what do you mean K-State's going to win the league? Now, this is just what the coaches think. And I think if we learned anything from last year, it's hard to predict who is going to win this conference.
Yeah, I'm not telling you K-State's the best. I think Avery Johnson's, from what I've heard and what I've seen and what people have been telling me, Avery Johnson is a different quarterback right now. Again, what do you hear every summer? Well, he's in the best shape of his life, Morty. And let me tell you, well, I'd hope on July 10th that Avery Johnson's in the best shape of his life, right? But the biggest issue at K-State is likely not even going to be Avery Johnson. I think that secondary on defense, that secondary has a lot to answer for. How well does Matt Wells fit into? How well does Matt Wells, new offensive coordinator, former Utah State god, Matt Wells, the new offensive coordinator, how easy is it going to be for him to install his offense again and get the most out of an offense that, frankly, is going to have more weapons show up? Because you've obviously, you start looking at the depth chart for K-State and you realize Jace Brown's probably your only legitimate, cemented, that guy knows how to be a stud at wide receiver. No question, you've got two of the better running backs, maybe the best backfield in the conference.
My word.
But you're going to have to figure out how many wide receivers do you have on that team, and how much running is Avery Johnson going to have to do, and how much running is too much running. Because again, he's going to have to throw you to a Big 12 championship, not run you to one.
Yeah, and I think if you look at their schedule, the way this is going to play out for them is obviously you're going to find out who they are in week 1, of course. But then, you get North Dakota, you get Army, and you get Arizona, and you get UCF. So that's about a month of easier, lesser opponents, I would say, with all due respect to those programs. And then you start to get into it when you get Baylor, TCU, Kansas, Tech, off week with Oklahoma State. Then you get Utah and Colorado. So, I just think that this team is fortunate in the sense that the schedule gets harder as they go along.
Yes.
But that's going to allow them to settle in. I mean, let's say that for whatever reason, you are 0-1 after Iowa State, right? You lose that game. I would figure you'd be 4-1 heading to Waco to play Baylor. So I just think
that's a huge game.
Yeah. I think that this season for K-State is very much contingent on your ability to win on the road. Because if you look at their road games, they are winnable. Baylor is a winnable game for you, right? Kansas is a winnable game.
I think their only questionable game is that late game at Utah. I mean, their road schedule is probably the easiest in the conference.
Yeah.
If you look at it, at Arizona, at Baylor, at Kansas. Now, Kansas is supposed to be notably better. At Oak State, who's going to be dreadful again, and then at Utah. And when I look at teams like Iowa State's road schedule is Arkansas State, at Cincinnati, at Colorado, at TCU. So TCU becomes the TCU in Utah. And then I look at Utah, and this is a conversation that no team in no fan base in this conference wants to have. And I think that when you start looking at Utah's schedule, Utah's probably got amongst the contenders some of the most difficult games scheduled. I mean, you look at the fact that they open at UCLA. I have no idea what to expect out of UCLA. They can't possibly be shittier than they were last year. I don't think that's possible.
So don't even think about messing with me.
Right? Utah should run over UCLA. Right? But that's still a tougher road game. A Big Ten road opponent is more difficult than Iowa State or K-State's got. Then you're at West Virginia, which going to Morgantown is never going to be easy. They've got Rich Rodriguez. They've got a phenomenal home field advantage. I think those two road games are tougher than anybody else that we've talked about. At BYU is going to be a murder. At Baylor, who supposedly now, from what everybody's predicting, is going to be this unbelievable team. Utah has, I think, one of the most difficult road schedules in the entire conference. And I think that's why when we ask, hey, is Utah going to bounce back? Yes, there is no question in my mind that K-State is, I think, going to have their hands full when they go to Rice-Eccles, because I will sit here and tell you, and I don't care if you want to call me an idiot or a homer or call me whatever you want. I really don't care. Rice-Eccles Stadium is arguably the best home field advantage on the West Coast, and that includes you at Autzen Stadium in Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you go to Autzen, and it's a tough place to play. You go to Utah, you cannot hear yourself. You cannot feel your fingertips because it's so damn cold. And I'm talking about second to last week. What is that, the week of Thanksgiving? It's going to be cold. You're at altitude. It is probably going to be at night. K-State's going to have a very difficult time winning that game. I look at their other game, no doubt about it, it's that Texas Tech game. Because how did Texas Tech, and again, I'll put this up here, and you guys tell me, how did Texas Tech not get first place just handed to them with their offseason? If you look at this, Texas Tech got 3 championship votes, but they're 3 votes behind Kansas State. They're just on the offensive line, the changes they made in the trenches. Are you really going to argue with me that Texas Tech on paper isn't better than K-State?
Yeah, well, I think that's exactly the
wild.
problem with this, though. I think that what you just said there, on paper, Texas Tech is better, but people aren't buying it until they see it, which is why K-State is getting the votes. And I do think that that's fair, but I again, I have to say, like, if you reframe the question to who's got the most to lose if they don't win the conference, Texas Tech is number one on that list. Joey's ass is not going to be there if they don't win the conference. If you don't have a 10-win season in Lubbock, you kidding me right now? I mean, this guy's got to perform with all the money they've spent. That there's only one mission with all the money you've spent, which is a Big 12 championship and obviously a national championship run, a CFP berth, and ideally a national championship run. So to me, I look at, again, these rankings, and I think the shock reaction that you see across the internet and all the people that
the
look
interwebs,
at this, like everyone's like, oh my God, this, and oh my God, that. And I'm just sitting here looking at it, and you look at this, and if you can see the sentiment just screaming through the screen.
Do you guys buy into this? Here's what I buy into in this graphic, which again, this is the Big 12 coaches poll right here. I buy into these 7 teams, and really, I don't put much credence into Dave Aranda and Baylor. I think their schedule's a cupcake. I look at Utah, legit. I look at Tech, legit. Iowa State, K-State, Arizona State, legit. TCU, you better be, or Spike Dykes' kid is getting bounced. And I just don't believe that Dave Aranda is the guy to lead Baylor back to glory.
I think it's laughable that Utah got 0 championship votes. Was it 0? Or was it
0.
0, right?
I don't think it, but I don't actually think it is laughable. I think Utah was one of the most shockingly disappointing teams in all of college football last year.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking. I think all of us knew on some level or another. I think all of us knew Oak State was gonna be very mediocre. Very mediocre. I don't think anybody thought they'd be winless. I think they can't go winless again. So they'll be better. But if you had to ask me, like, who do you think is the worst team in this league? Man, I have to think that at the bottom of this league, West Virginia's going to have to be there. Oak State's going to be there. Cincinnati. I love my guy, Scott Satterfield. Cincinnati's got to be there.
UCF, I think, has some questions.
UCF is not going to be good.
Yeah.
That I would agree with. I think Arizona is going to be bad. UCF is probably the worst team in the league. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think the contenders for worst team in the league are Houston and UCF. Those two. To me, West Virginia.
I think Houston's going to be better than Arizona. West Virginia is going to be interesting. I'm a huge Rich Rod guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Rich Rod. But I think it is going to be really interesting to see, like, what does Zach Alley bring to Morgantown? I mean, I thought that was one of the huge hires of the offseason. Do we buy into Rich Rod and Zach, and you start looking at, like, Jaheim White's going to have a Heisman Trophy kind of season for them not to be one of the bottom 3 teams in this league. Right? I mean, if we're just being honest about West Virginia, Jaheim White is going to have to be
A1.
Everything. Jalen Knighton played at SMU, which, according to SMU fans, means you're the greatest thing since sliced running back.
Clean cut, dude.
Right, but I think Oklahoma State's in contention for one of the worst teams in the league. Cincinnati, and then I actually think Houston is going to have a nice bounce this season. Yeah. They're going to win some games you don't think they should. They were last in the Big 12 in offense last year, averaging 13.9 points a game, less than 5 yards per play.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be better. they're going to be better. And frankly, my biggest question is, where's Colorado going to end up? Will Colorado be, here's maybe the most ridiculous thing. Will Colorado be a top 10 team in the Big 12? One of the 10 best teams in the Big 12. Will Colorado be that?
Yeah, I think they will be.
Deion, his staff, I mean, inarguably, he's built a staff that is only here to make young men into really good football players. And we saw last year, frankly, since he started coaching, his staff develops players. He's got talent. But can you replace Shedeur and Travis and expect to be better the year after you do that?
No, I don't think they're going to be better, but I don't think they're going to be, bottom, like worst 5 teams in the league. I think, to me, they're going to be right in the middle of the pack. We all know how chaotic these games get, and it's one play here or there. It's that old adage of like, hey, you just got to have, you're 3 plays away from winning this game, and I think Colorado goes through that a lot. And I think when you look at their schedule, you're talking about starting with Tech, then you get Delaware, then you're at Houston, and then you get Wyoming. So,
I think they will beat Georgia Tech because it's at Folsom. Delaware, they'll beat Houston. Wyoming for 4-0, and then BYU in Colorado is going to be their first real test. Now, Jake Retzloff is still not in the portal officially, but I think they start the season 5-0, and then at TCU will be their first loss. I think they'll be 5-1.
Yeah, and the problem is they're going to fall on their face because you're not beating Iowa State, you're not beating Utah, so you're going to lose 3 in a row.
You want to talk about getting your nuts stomped on?
Yeah.
How about BYU at TCU, Iowa State at Utah, and then you probably become bowl eligible when Arizona comes to town. At West Virginia, Arizona State, K-State. You got to finish with Arizona State and then at K-State. Who hates Colorado? Apparently everybody, because that is a really difficult schedule.
Yeah.
That is. And Arizona State,
they're going to be good.
They're going to be good, but how is Arizona State's schedule not more difficult? Northern Arizona. Then they're at Mississippi State. They go to Starkville. Texas State.
Whoa, dude. Best team in Texas, bro. That Texas State.
They're going to be 3-0. At Baylor. 4-0. I think they have a chance to lose at home to TCU. At Utah, Texas Tech, Houston, at Iowa State, West Virginia, at Colorado, Arizona. Not an easy schedule.
No,
I'd rather have that schedule than Colorado, though. I mean, I could be wrong. But my point is, I think when you start looking at Deion Sanders, he's not a guy that's going to tank a season. He's got too much talent, and he's a really good football coach. And he's, I know what do you guys always say? Well, they don't win games. They're here for clicks, and they don't recruit. He can't recruit. Well, apparently he can recruit and he can portal, and I think he's done that.
This is his first year, without Shedeur and Travis. So I think this is the first year you get a real good idea of what this guy can do as a true, regular, just like anybody else football coach. I mean, I have to say, not having your kid on the roster, starting at quarterback for you is a big change. It is. There's a loss of cohesiveness there. There's a loss of natural expectation and understanding. I mean, bringing both your quarterbacks to media day and saying you don't know which one's going to start, like, I think that kind of speaks to where the offense is at. Not that it's in a bad place, but just it's not in the same place that it already would have been this time last year, right? I mean, this time last year came to media day and Shedeur was the guy, and that was that. Like,
I think it's going to be almost impossible to keep Julian Lewis off the field. I think if you're smart, you probably start Caden Salter, right? But Julian Lewis is going to be amazing. And you just look at what Robert Livingston did with Colorado's defense last year. You guys understand they held teams to 5 yards a snap? That defense held teams to 5 yards a snap. I think they're going to surprise some people. And I think DJ McKinney's probably going to be one of the best defensive backs in the conference. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious. Who do you guys think? Give me in the comment section, the best team in the Big 12 is. Who do you think it is?
I would probably, I want to say Texas Tech, just because you have so much talent.
Baron Morton.
How do you not? And you've got Baron Morton.
I think he's the best quarterback in the league now.
How do you not? How are you not the best team? How are you not the most dangerous team? But I do agree that there is this factor that Joey is unproven. He is. There's no getting around that. So
when you're sweating and you're under pressure and you're in a close game, do you trust Joey McGuire to do the right thing? Yeah, I don't know either. And
I want to say that they are the best team. I really do want to say that. But I don't think I can say that. I really don't think I can say it. I am much more of the mind that I think it's got to be. I don't know. I want to say Utah. Utah's got the best defense. I have no question about that. Is Utah? Are we ready to crown them offensively? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know how.
Yeah,
offense is going to look.
I don't think we can just be like, yeah, Utah's just. I mean, I think they're out of.
How is that? Is that better? How is that, friends? Is that, why don't you pull up the... Okay, so my wife showed up at the studio and immediately decided that her AirPod Pros needed to be on and be the preeminent audio source of the show. And so there we go. Now we're back. So, so I just work here, man. I'm behind the scenes trying to fix it. So what happened is, if you weren't hearing what I was saying, my wife showed up at the studio and she somehow, for whatever reason, her AirPod Pros connected to my Mac Mini, which is what we run the show on a Mac studio. It's called a Mac Studio.
Yeah.
And her AirPod Pros connected to it, which essentially said, hey, we're going to listen to whatever she's listening to, and you're not going to hear us.
You have to check it before you wreck it.
Blame Mrs. Monty for that. Don't blame me. But we are back. Anyway, all right. So in the comments section, let's reset it. Who do you think is the best team in the Big 12? Jake?
I'm going to go with Arizona State. I think Arizona State has proven in big games that, Kenny, I think, has proven himself in big games. I think you have a Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback. And the only question you have is, what does the offense look like now that you don't have Scat? So to me, I think that team,
that's a big question.
That team, I feel like, because the way I see this, the landscape in the Big 12 is What teams have the most of that change that they have to figure out to win ball games? Utah's got a lot that changed, right? You've got obviously BYU seemingly has a lot that changed at quarterback, right? Obviously, he's not officially in the portal, but I think we all agree, he's not going to be there. So you have a lot that changed there. You look at K-State. I sit here and I say, okay, well, we kind of know what that team is, but again, you got to go out and prove that you can beat the best teams in the league, and you haven't done that yet. So
yeah, I'm not gonna hop on the Arizona State bandwagon. You have to prove leadership in that program on the field. Cam Scatterboot, they don't win half of their games if he's not being himself. They don't beat Utah, frankly, without Cam Scatterboot. So I'm not going to hitch my wagon to that. I'm happy to say, hey, should they be the default vote? Yes, they went to the college football playoff last year. They won the conference. I'm telling you right now, on paper, I'm probably picking Texas Tech. If you want to know who I believe, I think Utah is going to have a really difficult time because of their schedule. I think K-State has an interesting schedule. So I think one of the secondary teams in this league has a real chance to step up and surprise people.
Do you believe?
I just don't know that, for instance, do any of us believe that Avery Johnson is going to be able to be that dude who in October and November you can say, okay, it's 3rd and 17, make a throw to win us a game. Because I'm telling you, I saw him 4 or 5 times last year have no ability to figure out what the defense was doing. You can disguise him, and if he has not learned how to read a defense, they're not going to win because he's got the arm talent. He's got the leg talent. The guy is physical. I just don't believe for a second that he's got the mental acuity to read a defense when the game is on the line. That's what scares me about him.
He's never had to, and that's the hard part is that he's gotten to this level, and he has not added that to his repertoire yet.
My caveat will be with Utah. If Dampier and Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator, and Kyle Whittingham said yesterday, Jason Beck is fully in control of the offense. He essentially said, I'm hands off. We've never heard Kyle Whittingham say anything like that. But then again, he's never had a prolific offense at Utah, in my opinion. And he's got that now.
Mm-hmm.
If Devin Dampier comes in and he does not turn the football over, he will be the best quarterback in this league. He'll be better than Hoover. He'll be better than Baron Morton. Save nobody. You mark my words, if that cat is who he was last year, and I know that's a huge step up, but what did we see in this league last year? How many 50-point games did we see in this league last year? How many shootouts did we see in this league last year? A lot. And the one thing I know is if Devin Dampier comes in here and Joey isn't better on defense, and if Aranda's not better on defense, and because as good as Baylor could be, they made some really stupid plays on defense. If they tighten that up, Devin Dampier is still a better quarterback than they are a defense. K-State, huge questions in the secondary. I'm telling you, Utah's got the goods to do it if Devin Dampier's that guy. Because you look at this defense and Smith Snowden and Lander Barton, and that defense is stacked. Dude, that's a top 5 defense in the entire country.
Yes.
I don't know what Devin Dampier is on offense, and that's why I can't unequivocally say Utah's going to win the conference. And I tend to lean with you. If you're gonna default somebody, it's Arizona State. If you believe much what I believe,
mm-hmm.
I think Utah will win the conference.
I don't think that's far off. I think if they can get it right on offense, they're going to have it right on defense, and usually their special teams is pretty solid. They should be a good team, and I also think that the dynamic of Kyle Whittingham being at the end of the road of his career and wanting to and being unwilling to retire off of what happened last year also supports this concept of, hey, he's clearly going all in to do everything he can do to have a strong season. So again, there are Utah haters and Utah lovers. I'm not going to sit here and doubt a man that's been doing this 20 years and knows how to build a football team. I think he's more than capable of coming out here and beating wholesale ass the whole season if they can stay healthy. But again, it's still a question. We've never seen Utah have a prolific offense that can match the dominance that their defense provides.
We've never seen a Utah quarterback combine for 4,000 yards, not under Kyle Whittingham, combined for 4,000 yards. And 31 touchdowns.
Yeah. Like, you've not had that.
And I think it's really possible. He's got Devin Dampier, the quarterback at Utah. And it's July 10th. Devin Dampier's got the best offensive line in the conference. He's got a wide open offense. It's very possible for him to put up 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. And if he does that, Utah will win the conference. It's an outstanding season. But, bro, he did that at New Mexico last year. He put up 4,000 yards and 31 touchdowns. He's capable of doing it. You don't have to like it, but I'm telling you, he's legit. And Jason Beck's legit. So, I want to tell you Utah's going to win the conference. I need to see it first. I need to ask me September 15th.
So you're going with Tech then?
I'm probably going with Arizona State as hey, who are you picking on July 10th? Arizona State, great. Okay, fine. I think Texas Tech's got the most talented roster, and I think Utah's capable of winning every game they play. And I'm not sure I can say that but about 3 teams in this league.
Yeah.
How many teams in this Big 12 are capable of winning every game they play? Bottom half of this league is not. Colorado's not. Kansas is not. Certainly Arizona, Houston, Cincinnati, they're not. I don't believe BYU is without Jake Retzloff. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. So I think that when you look at Kyle Whittingham, and hey, by the way, MFers, does a motherfucker get some credit?
Oh, no.
What did I tell you about Kyle Whittingham when you were all like, oh, the old man's lost it? Okay, well, apparently not. Because I said, hey, had they had a run through the conference last year, Kyle Whittingham would be fishing or riding a motorcycle somewhere.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And what did he say yesterday? Well, I can't go out like that. If we had won a championship, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I'm just telling you, the guy's not going anywhere on a losing season.
I'm going to say this again.
They're not. Dampier playing real defenses this year with a real offensive line, the best offensive line. He's got the best right tackle in college football, in Fano. And he's got the best offensive line in the conference, and probably that's really tough nationally. I mean, it's really difficult to compare offensive lines across the board. He's got an elite offensive line.
Yeah,
man.
Here's the problem with this take, though. He's playing real defenses this year. Here's the problem.
Well, from what I understand at New Mexico, they actually didn't have defenses on the field.
Right. The
They
problem
actually-
is
they
when
were
you
all
have,
fake defenses.
When you have a guy that knows the offense and has a big arm and can place the football where he wants to, the real defenses are no different than the, I guess, assumed fake defenses he was playing, because he knows how to read a defense and put the ball where it needs to go. So ultimately, it's a mental game, not necessarily hey, he's stepping up in competition. He should be just fine that way. He knows the offense.
Yep.
Witt said yesterday that he's been like a coach on the field trying to teach guys the offense. Like, he's going to be fine, dude.
And I love the guys who are like, oh, well, you said Utah's defense will be best in the conference last year. Look at that shit show. Yeah, number 2 in the conference. My bad. Monty don't know nothing.
Dangerous misinformation.
That defense that only gave up 20.7 points a game. That defense, they're better this. I know. I hate BYU and I hate Utah and I hate everybody. Just remember, old Uncle Monty, but Monty said on July 10th, Utah's going to be a better defense this year because Lander Barton's a better football player this year than he was last year.
Stay hard.
And Devin Dampier, the number is 5,000 yards. And let's see what they do at wide receiver. But with Lomu and Fano at tackle, this offensive line's the best offensive line in the conference. So this whole thing about real defenses, you do you. Oak State, James, and the Rectory. I do think Utah will be in a bowl game. Oh, they'll be in a bowl game. Ain't nobody in this league playing for a bowl game. But their quarterback isn't better than Hoover, Backdoor Morton. So let me ask you, how much of Devin Dampier have you seen?
You are uneducated and should stop talking about Devin Dampier, dude. You have no clue what you're talking about. Honestly. Honest to God. And I'm not saying that he's the best quarterback in the conference, but the idea that you think that this cat's going to be a liability, or that because he's not the best quarterback in the Big 12 that they're just going to be a bowl team, you're out of your mind, dude. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't let you off the hook for that one. That's just uneducated.
Yeah, I'm telling you now that when you look at the quarterbacks in this league, and you start ranking, and I'm not even talking about their stats. I'm talking about performances. Okay, take Jake Retzloff out of it because he was a top 5 quarterback in this league.
He sucks too, though.
He does that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to? Do you guys want to play the total QBR game? Because that seems to be where you guys get your boners. Oh well, Monty,
Stay hard.
Monty, what about his total QBR, brah? Okay. Sam Levitt's got the highest QBR in the Big 12 at 80.2. Okay. Is he the best quarterback in the Big 12? He's not. But if you start looking at where Devin Dampier is, and I know it's crazy, but Jalen Daniels, who you all told me is going to be amazing, exact same QBR, 72, 71.9. Devin Dampier, 71.9.
What?
Oh, my God.
What?
Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson's the greatest quarterback anybody's ever seen.
Dude, play the sound. Stay hard, dude.
Stay hard.
And when Avery Johnson rolls onto the field, I mean, dreams die, right? Like the testosterone just runs right out of your bag when you see.
It just drips.
He's got a lower 71.3.
Whoa.
Devin Dampier, 70. Oh, but Monty, he didn't play any real defenses, brah.
What?
QBR doesn't care about your defense. Right. And we can sit here and we can start talking about, does Devin Dampier, is he the best thrower of the football? He is not. He doesn't complete 60% of his passes. He only threw for 12 touchdowns last year. Like, okay, cool. There are arguments against him. The motherfucker had 23 rushing touchdowns.
We clear on that?
Like, but Avery Johnson didn't he have 741 rushing touchdowns last year? No, he had 14. Oh, Devin Dampier is going to do quite well if he stays healthy. And there's no excuse this year at Utah for injuries. No excuse. Best offensive line. You're going to be able to run the ball. He's your dude. So Big 12 championship game, Texas Tech and K-State would be amazing. Would be a great game.
In my opinion, that would be one of the most ideal matchups a conference could ask for.
I would agree. Jay Beers. I have a feeling about Bear Bachmeier, dude, could get us through this year. So ask yourself, and this is the thing I say about him. What is it that we've seen on tape at Stanford? I say he was at Stanford. And he left Stanford. Is he dual threat? Yes. Does he have great size? 6'2", 225? Yes. But he just hasn't performed. And you haven't seen, he does not have measurable experience or on-field performance at this level. And I think you can look at all kinds of issues, and you can sit here and say Bear is a guy that should be out of this world. And I I just say we have no idea. Why do we believe that? That's what I'm asking. And if you guys want to try and, talk me out of it or tell me I'm wrong, I'm here for it, dude. But what is it exactly that we've seen from Bear Bachmeier that would tell you, man, this cat, let me just tell you, we have no idea what he is as a quarterback. No idea. And he certainly is not going to be a guy. He does not have the arm, in my opinion, that Jake Retzloff had. He does. The biggest concern should be command of the offense. There's no quarterback in that room, and they have talent. Don't get me wrong. Everybody in that room is capable of being the next great one. None of them have command of the offense. None of them have experience in the real world. None of them have thrown a passive leverage. And BYU expects to compete for a conference championship this year. And unfortunately, I just think that that's going to be very difficult to do.
That defense better be damn good.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that BYU had him out of high school and then they didn't. And I get that. But I think that he's a very good football player. There's no question that Bachmeier is a great athlete. He is. And this is Devin Dampier. I know what he is as a quarterback. And the only thing that and I think 9 out of 10 of you have probably never seen a Devin Dampier game. But when I look at his tape, and it's all over YouTube, go watch it. When I look at his tape, it just jumps off the page that at New Mexico, he took advantage. He was like the best kid on the high school team, and he just blew dudes away. But he also ran in the right place. He made the right adjustments. He's got full command of the offense. You can see the poise, the understanding, where the football should go, right? Because in my opinion, here's the real test of a quarterback. I've got a play that's where I've got probably 4 guys in the route and a tight end. And I'm trying to leverage the outside receiver on an in route. Very common play in college football, right? My outside receiver in route, I'm sending the slot guy up the middle, and I'm sending the tight end out to the right. And I'm trying to hit that wide receiver in the middle. But the linebacker tucks down, sits down, and that route's not there. Are you going to do what Avery Johnson does and just try to find your fastest receiver and throw a hot football to him? Or are you going to understand, if that's covered, here's my second option. If that's not there, here's my third option. I know exactly where my tight end's going to be as my bailout. Because that's who Devin Dampier is. And a lot of times he would go, that's my number one. Uh-oh, my number 2's covered too. Let me go take off because I've got Jimmy the water boy at linebacker. So from that perspective, I agree that at times he took advantage of lesser talent. But when he did that, it was because that was his best option, because his first 2 were covered. That puts him miles ahead of most quarterbacks first year in the Big 12. Is he going to be Baron Morton? No, because I think Baron Morton's the best quarterback in the league. I think he is the best quarterback in the league. Then I think it's Hoover. And then I don't know, because Rocco Becht was not what I wanted Rocco Becht to be last year. And yes, everybody chased Rocco Becht. I need to understand what the fire in Ames is this year. Because I know in Lubbock, Joey's probably coaching for his job and his livelihood. I know in Salt Lake City, Kyle Whittingham's coaching for his legacy. I know in Morgantown, Rich Rod is just getting going. I know in
Tempe.
We can go over. Yeah. Kenny Dillingham, every one of his dudes is going to take a bullet and then run through a brick wall for him. I know all their situations, right? The best situation probably for any quarterback is Baron Morton in Lubbock, Hoover in Fort Worth, and then Devin Dampier, I think, has the third best situation. And only because I don't believe that Avery Johnson can stand in the pocket and deliver the football in crunch time. That's where I'm at on the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I would marry Baron Morton today if he would let me propose. That's probably too much. That's over.
Are people Myron?
Yeah, it's probably offensive.
What?
But I love Baron Morton. I love that cat. He's got to stay healthy, and Joey's got to execute.
Well, you mean you can't call zero blitzes, on the 1 yard line or whatever?
Right? You can't. And unfortunately at BYU, I think, who your most important guy there is? Jay Hill. Because Jay Hill's got dudes on defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's finally got a real defensive line who can play his system. Now do you have a quarterback who can deliver the ball? Because I am telling you now, the defenses in this league are better. And if you go up and down BYU's schedule, unfortunately, because of bad decision-making, you're not going to – I don't believe that they'll contend for a conference championship.
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. But
I think it makes it tough.
We'll see. I think this league is wide open. I could, again, not to be redundant, I could see Utah winning the league. But I could also see Avery Johnson taking a big step up, being a thrower of the football, and K-State running away with the league. Because if K-State gets top-end performance out of Avery Johnson, he'll cover up a lot of black eyes in that secondary.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Because the K-State secondary is clearly the weakest unit on that football team. Right? So, but if Avery Johnson's a stud, and he's a guy that everybody says he is, which he's never been, but if he is, K-State could go undefeated and run away with this league. Right? We'll see. I think everybody's got big questions. Arizona State, you don't have Cam anymore. Like, you pick the team, I can tell you what their biggest need is. Baylor, Dave Aranda's not a head coach. Plain and simple. You got a really good quarterback, top 7 quarterback in the league, but you don't have a head coach there. Utah, great offensive line, best defense in the conference, best offensive line in the conference. Devin Dampier's got to prove it every single snap. Like, we could go on and on. Loner phone. Wow, it was just an event today. My God, what? I have no idea what you mean. Timothy O'Hara, I seen plenty of Dampier. I live in Albuquerque. Oh, do tell. Joey B, Monty and Jake, thoughts on the ex-NHLer beating up drunks? We talked about this for 10 minutes yesterday. If you're getting in a fight at a golf course, and he wasn't beating up drunks at a golf course. As I said yesterday on the show, the guy threatened him. He beat his ass. And he didn't punch him in the face. He threw him in a lake. The guy got out of the lake and wanted to keep doing it and kept charging him. You're going to get your ass beat. And the guy then today is like, oh, I just got a little black eye. Let's do it again. Okay, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. J-Trey, I could see BYU's defense feasting on Dampier turnovers. He doesn't really turn the ball over. And this is going to be year 2 of him in the same offense with the same language. I can also see him running for 200 yards against them and a win. He has to be a better thrower of the football. He has to be more accurate. He has to be more decisive, aggressive. Decisive's the wrong word. He has to throw that ball on the hash right now. Does he have the wide receivers to do that? I think that's the biggest question at Utah. Their wide receivers are a huge question, right? But you could be right. Kyle needs to step aside and let Morgan run the show. Kyle Whittingham is the best coach, and say it with me, in the history of the state of Utah football. Not the University of Utah. Kyle Whittingham is the single best coach that's ever done it at the college level in the state of Utah. Yes, I understand BYU from 1984. Congratulations. Kyle Whittingham is a product of Lavelle, and he has surpassed the mentor. So I love that BYU fan wants to slight Kyle Whittingham.
They both do it on both sides, dude.
Like, Kyle Whittingham yesterday was asked about the honor code, and what did he say? Nah, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment on that. I've been out of that system for so long that Kyle's a great coach, but past his prime. One bad season and he's past his prime.
Yeah, why do that?
Okay. Timothy O'Hara, Mountain West Conference Media Day next week. Grand Canyon just to agitate Boise State and San Diego State. Okay, cool. Oak State James, I can't say ASU is a legit contender until I see who they have at running back. Bro, James, I love you. If they can run the ball, it's going to be a rough year in the desert. If they can't run the ball, it's going to, well, they have who a lot of people think is the best quarterback in the league.
You can't take it too far. Like
which you generally do.
Like he's one guy. I understand that they ran everything through him and he was the heart of the team, but it's next man up. Like there will be trust me, Kenny Dillingham can go find another running back to run through a brick wall for him.
And Jordan Tyson's still there.
Like,
do you understand how lethal he was? Everybody talked about Cam last year.
Do you understand how much Sam Levitt has on the line this year, dude? What are people saying about him? Yeah, you're not actually a CFP caliber quarterback. You just had a running back. He helped you, and that's it.
Yeah, and Kanye Udo's nothing to. And don't they have Rayleigh Brown? They have Rayleigh Brown on that roster. Like, they're going to be fine. They're not going to have the ball control offense they had last year. They were able to because Cam Scattaboo would just absolutely take your rectum off to get the first down. They're not going to have that this year.
Yeah,
Rayleigh Brown ain't that dude. But I think they're going to be fine. The most fascinating guy in this league is probably whoever the leading rusher at Texas Tech is. Because you want to talk about replacing a running back. I think that's a major question. I mean, I don't know how you replace Taj Brooks. I have no idea.
You don't replace Taj Brooks.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
But I just think
Quentin Joyner is probably that guy, but
yeah.
Taj Brooks was a stud.
Yeah, Tech's identity is different. Taj Brooks was a stud, no doubt. But this team, it's just different now. Like last year was, hey, we aren't really doing what we need to be doing. Like, you know, Taj is obviously a big deal, but like as a team, we're underachieving. This year is all about, hey, all of our old money, you know, came in and added a bunch of talent to the roster. We got to go out and win ball games. So you're not going to have, you know, you're not going to have a running back having some massive year. I think you're going to have a lot of balance.
Well, but look at Iowa State. Does Iowa State have a number one wide receiver? Didn't they put two guys in the NFL this year? Who's going to be their number one wide receiver? We don't know yet.
Yeah,
no idea. Boyd Lake, Lavelle would have a word. I think he would. Lavelle was amazing. GTI Brandon, agree to disagree. Okay. Witt and Gundy are the same. Say less. Tell me you don't know anything about like and I'm here for it. I'll die on the Kyle Whittingham hill. The guy is far from done. You don't do what he did with Jason Beck in the offense and be like, he's past his prime. Did he do what Gundy did and go find some retread who will say, sir, yes, sir, and comb his mullet for him at every meeting? No. Kyle Whittingham went and found the cutting edge. So, yeah, I agree, Zona. ASU is going to be good, and it's hard for you to say that. But Monty, everyone talking about these teams as if their OCs won't scheme around their strengths. But Monty, that's not the exact way they ran their offense last year. Right? I don't know. Dude. Dude. Jake, who's the best quarterback in the Big 12?
I mean, I think there's definitely a group of guys. I think that everyone's going to tell you it's Avery Johnson. I think that Avery's the easy pick. I would probably be looking at Sam Levitt. I think that, yes, he's unproven, but I also think that nothing's changed for him, really. And everyone's going to say, oh, well, scat left. Yeah, but Scat's a running back, dude. It's not like Scat's an offensive coordinator. It's not like you had massive turnover on that roster. A lot of guys are coming back. Like, I would probably go with Sam Levitt. I'm also a big Kenny guy. You know, I think Kenny Dillingham does it the right way. I think that because he's a younger head coach, he's able to capture the attention of players better. He's able to relate to them better. He just understands how to play the game. And I think, when you look at what happened to them last year against Texas in the CFP, you're one play away from winning that ball game. If they go deeper in the CFP, people are probably looking at this team a little bit differently. So I'm not going to sit here and say Avery Johnson's the best quarterback in the league. Baron Morton's probably the best pure passer, but
Sam Levitt.
I would go with Sam Levitt.
Hey man, can I borrow your knee pad? Sam Levitt's in town. Baron Morton's the best quarterback in the league. Josh Hoover's second. And then I think you're probably looking at Levitt. Levitt could make an argument for third. And then I think it's really close. Sawyer Robertson and Rocco Becht, I think, would be fourth and fourth B. And then I think you have a pile of guys. But I think Hoover and Baron Morton are clearly the best in this league. I want nobody but Baron Morton throwing the football.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that he can't stay healthy, which if you said to me you got to start a team today, I'd probably take Hoover.
Probably.
But if I have one play and Baron Morton and Hoover are healthy and I got to go deep, I'm going Baron Morton. And I mean, Jalen Daniels, sure, can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And I think that Josh Hoover, I mean, the guy threw for 300 yards a game, but the offense is built around him. So I think that's a big question. I'm really curious what Julian Lewis at Colorado's like. I want to see it. Again, I think Caden Salter is going to start. Why wouldn't you? Julian Lewis is going to he's got a package.
Yeah, he's going to get his opportunity.
I'm really curious to see what it is. I'm really curious to see what he looks like. Sergeant Morhew, good luck to Dampier. He rocked it in New Mexico. Good kid, too. Levitt is really good. He is. 801 West Valley, Devin Dampier. He's going to be amazing. Zona says Kyle Whittingham is a great coach. He's got more left in the tank. He does. And again, the guy understands it starts on the lines, and he's got two dominant lines. And that is Big Daddy Magic.
Okay.
Now, Big Daddy Magic and I had a conversation over InstaSnap Face Talk. You're not a BYU fan. And I thought I wrote a great soliloquy to Big Daddy Magic, who I am no longer allowed. He chastised me for calling him Big Daddy Tragic when Victor got hurt, so I'm no longer allowed to do that.
Okay.
I said to him, you hate BYU. AJ plays at BYU, therefore you hate AJ. I think that makes perfect sense.
I agree.
Okay, so you're not a BYU fan. You're not an AJ DeMansa fan. Okay?
Yeah, what? Victor's not getting it done for you now?
Victor's no longer the way?
Yeah, what the hell happened?
He also says Levitt plays at Arizona State. I honor this. I have 17. How much for him to sign when he comes with? Okay. You get lost in the sauce a little bit there, kid. Willie. On average Saturday in the fall, who outside of the Southwest watches the Big 12? So you're going to choose violence today. I have 4 50-inch TVs. You probably should get a hobby. And my iPad.
Oh, well, I mean, is it a pro or a regular model?
It's a pro because it's a pro. He watches porn.
Right.
Probably watch 10 to 12 total Big 12 games all year. Most were late night games. Well, then you don't.
Well, you're busy watching the Pac-12. That must be it.
Yeah. You don't understand it then. David Persons, my call for Big 12 CG. So you're going to CG it. Like you're just going to.
It's going to be fake.
It's going to be graphics.
AI.
And stuff. My call for the Big 12 championship game is Tech and TCU. Both TCU's not going to the championship game, guy. Like, listen.
I want some of what you're smoking, dude.
I understand that you're a hippie and you were at Woodstock. And listen, I have love for Woodstock.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
If TCU's going to go to the Big 12 title game, they've got to run the football and they have to be better on the offensive line. And they're not.
And you might want to think about playing defense.
Do you understand that they only gained 3.7 yards per carry last year, which is one of the worst numbers in the league? And my biggest concern is Andy Avalos, his defense was better, but was your defense good last year in Fort Worth? You gave up 5.5 yards of play last year, which is okay. But Bud Clark is probably more important than Josh Hoover on this team. I mean, if that defense is giving up, and with their offense, I would think you should be able to get away with 5 yards a snap. You got to be under 5 yards a snap. I understand it's tough, but if you're going to the championship game, how did Arizona State wind up winning the thing? Because they were really physical. That's not you.
You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not.
That
and
guy,
I love Bud, right? But you were ranked 42nd nationally in pass defense.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
That's not good. That's not good. And you are not notably better. You're not notably better. And I would also remind you, I believe they were 12th in the league against the run. That's not good. And I understand that you tend to smoke off the Horned Frog's back. I totally get that. But you're not better defensively, which is the biggest question mark this team's got. So I would love to tell you that you guys are gonna be amazing. You're not. It's as simple as that. And again, I would point out, look at your schedule, man. If you look at TCU's schedule, knowing what the numbers look like, and if you want to fight over their defense, I'm here to throw down.
Bro, what do you mean fight over their defense? What's to fight over?
At North Carolina. Abilene.
Well, listen, I mean, now that Bill's getting fired, I mean, that's going to be a win, right?
Abilene Christian, SMU. You're going to lose to SMU?
Clean cut.
They're from Dallas. You're in Fort Worth. Dallas County, boy.
Hey, boy.
North Carolina, Abilene, SMU, at Arizona State, Colorado, at K-State, Baylor, at West Virginia, Iowa State, at BYU,
we'll see you next year, dude.
at Houston, Cincinnati.
It's over for you. You're done. You're not going to the championship game.
Rock Chalk Horned Frog.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. I think it is that's awfully difficult. Again, James, you should not talk football. TCU look good in their bowl game. Well,
man, wow.
Because they beat up La Tech, who didn't want to be there. Nobody wants to be at their bowl game. So when you sit in here and you say, oh, well,
Monty,
if Mike Gundy goes to a bowl game, lifetime contract.
Oh, Monty.
Nobody
I'm
wants
a man.
Nobody. No. TCU, is expectations versus reality. Is that a fair conversation in Fort Worth? Do we all believe that the proper expectation is for TCU to play for a conference championship?
No. The expectation should be 8 wins.
Bruh, no one calls it a CG.
Yeah, well, what the hell is a CG?
You want to throw down $2, you can call it whatever you want. Which is fine. TJ Beck just got here, who got banned today. Did Oak State James emerge from the rectory? Has Aaron been caught yet for smuggling NIL? We are in the rectory with James because he's talking about how La Tech didn't want to be at their bowl game.
La Tech.
Gumby, Abilene, boy.
Hey.
Exactly.
Boy.
Kaner and BYU 8-4, Utah 6-6.
Okay.
Well, listen, my name's Kaner, and let me tell you something about BYU. Lavelle Edwards was a good man.
A better man.
He was a better man than Coach Saban. And you know, when I'm rolling around Provo and I pass by Jake Retzloff's apartment,
are not.
why are the curtains always closed in Jake Retzloff's apartment in Provo?
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
You know, I see condom wrappers. I automatically think Jake was a busy boy.
How dare you?
Just gonna move on. Roche, whatever the Big 12 rankings are, flip it upside down, and that's how it ends.
I mean, pretty much.
We'd like to congratulate Arizona going to the college football playoff.
They finally got their decimals right.
But Monty, how much does it cost to sponsor a bowl game? I'd just love to see us pool together for the Rectory Bowl. That would be amazing. Brought to you by the
Hey, boy.
The Rectory Bowl, the Rectory Bowls, presented by the Church of Jesus Christ of Roman Catholics. And I'll tell you what, them Gideons. Anyway.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Let me tell you about them AMF and evangelicals, okay?
Hey, boy.
They know how to throw a bowl game.
What's up, big bro?
Toot Pants, he used CG because of the text limit on $2 chat. Is there a text limit?
Wait, there's a text limit now?
Didn't want to spend the extra $3 for more text.
Wait, so your donation is based on how much you write? No, I don't buy that. Hell no. No. Now I got to look it up.
That don't math to me. Jeremiah Champion. He's married now. Big 12 and the Mountain West merge. I'm about that, bro. Super chat requires editing genius. Okay. Look who is my profile picture. Bro, you're not a... Stop, Magic. You are not a BYU fan. Okay, I'll play it.
Bro, it's true.
What?
It's true.
What's true?
The amount you donate gives you more runway.
Donate more money, you cheap.
Yeah. So hold on. It's not that he wrote it. It's not, you have it backwards. If you only choose to donate $2, you get only a certain amount of characters, apparently. So those that are donating, like, you know, the $99 donation, you could write like a 500 character message. Apparently.
Why doesn't somebody show us how that works?
Yeah. Can you guys sample that for us, please?
All right. Here's the BYU fan, Big Daddy Magic.
Player.
I'm gonna keep it real like penitentiary up in this one. Player, please, man. You're a paleontologist now. You gotta tell your cream weenie, Kevin Durant, Queen James, Paula George, to get to the back of the bus. The best to ever do it, the greatest the game's ever seen. When it's all said and done, everybody's gonna say
John Cena
earned those 12 rings, and AJ the Banzer, who you know do it better. Doesn't only lead the new generation to the greatest heights the NBA has ever seen in 125 years. When we're all dead and all my beautiful carcasses getting eaten by maggots.
Carcass.
On the very first page of the history books, there's going to be a picture of Victor Wembanyama, and kids in every language, every color is going to say Victor's the best to ever do it. Player, please, man. Cooper Flag, that white boy's going to get you in more trouble than Bill Clinton's pickle did. You got him in trouble in 1997. I'm going to have to change your name. Literally, you change your name to Monica Monty. No. And just remember one thing, player. When it's all said and done, I'd rather die on my feet for Victor than die on my knees for Cooper Flag. Then I'll call you Monty Yum Yum.
Okay.
I'm going to say this again.
Dude, you got to go to rehab because whatever the chemicals floating around.
I want you to listen to me.
I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees for Cooper Flag. You watch too much wrestling, first of all. Second of all, you're not a BYU fan. You are not an AJ DeBanza fan. You can't even say his name. You're not an AJ DeBanza fan. You hate BYU. You hate AJ DeBanza. It is.
Yeah. How many soaking jokes did you make?
Bill Clinton's pickle. Listen,
Dude.
Who's going to argue with it?
Bro, you know?
Who's going to argue with it?
Yeah.
We did what we did.
Yeah, Brent 2 says Victor won't stay healthy at 7'3", sadly. No, and I hope he does because he's amazing. Willie, my iPad is an error. Hey, guys, it's not my fault the Big 12 has 2 or 3 college football playoff wins. This show tells me everything I need to know about the league. Most people can't name most of the teams in the league.
Stop.
Come on, man.
You're hating.
Yeah. I stand corrected. Hot dog, exactly. 150 characters for $5 in the super chat. Okay.
Oak State James.
Oak State James. Sucker. Oak State James, live in the rectory. That's how I could be wrong. Rectory. I agree with you. Morton is the best QB in the Big 12, but I had Becht at 2. Hoover
How?
3rd. P.S. BDM is still mad that Dallas captured the flag. Probably is. Rocco Becht is not the second best quarterback in the league. And he's a good quarterback. ACC Commissioner Gumby, Monty Yum Yum, you know. Off subject, but can the Mountain West pull St. Mary's? They can. I don't believe they can. That would help boost their basketball further. And watching San Diego State and Boise State head explode would be worth the price of popcorn. It truly would. Damian Fowler, Monty Yum Yum. I like it. I think it should stick.
Monty Yum Yum.
Big Daddy Magic strikes again. Right? Brent 2. Most real football fans can name programs like Utah, BYU, TCU, K-State, and Oak State. You guys don't buy into the grifters. Like
the schemers.
Who's the biggest grifter on the show? It's probably Eric Wasikowski.
Michigan buddy. The guy that gets banned all the time, you know?
Oh, why can't I think of his name? I've purged it.
It's been so long.
Thankfully. But it's probably Wasikowski. Oh, you know, Colorado won't win a game. Their head coach is black. Screw him. Like, that's Eric Wasikowski. He'll be like, oh, they got any white quarterbacks there? If they don't, 0-10.
Yeah.
That's Eric Wasikowski. Ferris Khan, yeah.
Ferris Khan, yeah.
Yeah, Ferris Khan was the biggest grifter, only outdone by his Michigan cohort.
Yeah, seriously.
So, you know, again, I think I'm going Baron Morton number 1, Hoover number 2. That's tough. The best quarterback in the Big 12 is tough, I think. But
yeah, it is.
I could be wrong, but those are my numbers, and I'm not Big Daddy Magic. I'm not bandwagon guy. Well, AJ DeBanza.
Yeah, DeBanza.
He's got the bands to make them dance.
Monty, catch me in Provo next Tuesday at 1:47 p.m. to catch DeBanza.
I swear. Big Daddy Magic, I don't care if Kalani's your avatar. That's not who you are. That is not who you are. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, presented by our friends at Prize Picks.
Can we not? Dude.
Anita, Dick, and me.
Dude.
Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy game. Play every day, I do, and I love to hate it and love when I love it. And it's amazing when I hate it. I tell you guys never to listen to Jake on Prize Picks.
How is this my fault, bro?
Jake is perhaps the worst picker of prizes I've ever seen. Right? Like, I told you Katie Clark.
Yeah, but she was trash last night, too.
She's the only W performer that you're willing to roll with. Oh, no, Jake says. No. Well, that's not smart. Because if you know anything about the dub, you're going to take everybody's worst basketball player, Angel Reese, who now is again fighting with RG3.
Because as you can see, there's not much hope for you left.
Nobody cares about Angel Reese.
Bro.
So, of course, Jake's like, oh, Katie Clark, never heard of her. Angel Reese is 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Even if you'd like to be.
Go ahead and take Angel Reese, Dumpy Doo. We'll do the job, Chubbs.
Monty Yum Yum.
Go ahead and take Angel Reese, Monty Yum Yum. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I don't know that she doesn't go 33.5. Instead, she goes 27.
Oh, shit.
And, you know, I'm not somebody who's in the rectory like Oak State James. but Pete Crow Armstrong certainly thinks I am. Because, I mean, PCA hasn't had a hit in a couple of games, so I said he's coming through for me. There's no way that PCA is going to go hitless again last night, is it? Oh. In fact, that 0 for 4 with a strikeout.
Oh.
Well, Monty, what did he do today?
I'm unfamiliar with it.
I don't know.
I had him at 3.5 hits, runs, and RBIs last night. Did he do that last night?
No. Hell no.
No. How about a game of just the tip? Today, Pete Crow Armstrong, 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, 2 bombs, 3 runs, a walk, no strikeouts.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip.
Couldn't do that last night when I had you in Prize Picks. You 3-letter prick.
Yeah. Nope.
No. So I'm in a place with Prize Picks where I just need to grind it out.
Yeah, grind it out. Yeah,
which means we're passing on any of Jake's stupid ideas today.
I'd like to point out your Shota pick the other day didn't pan out.
I went 2 of 3 that day, so why don't you shut your face? But we are definitely riding with America's favorite ball player, and that would be Aaron MFing Judge, because every time I tell you, you need to win in Prize Picks, you take Aaron Judge. He's got Brian Wu tonight. Woo! So it makes me a little nervous because Wu's 8-4 with a 2.77 and an 0.96 whip. Probably want to stay away from that. So, yeah, we're going to stay away from him. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go Spencer Strider, who has got the Athletics tonight. I'm going to go less than 8 strikeouts on Spencer Strider. Okay. I'm going to go Cody Bellinger, who should still be my center fielder.
Yeah.
And PCA should be, well, you wouldn't have room
for
Kyle Tucker. You know, PCA could be playing first base for the Cubs. But I'm going to go Bellinger for more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then if you're not playing the Ronald Acuna Jr. for the ass game, I don't know what you're waiting for. Because Ronald Acuna Jr., since he's come back, has been one of the best hitters in baseball. And again, Uncle Monty don't know what he's talking about. But again, the Braves have the A's. And I know I don't know nothing about no baseball, but J.P. Sears has a 4.76 ERA and a 7-7 record. Yeah, I think we're going Ronnie Acuna to have 3.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for more. Oh, the free play is Nafisi. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Apparently, she
Collier.
Same thing. She plays in the W.
Yeah.
I think we probably bench Spencer Strider.
Yeah.
Nafisa Collier.
Nafisa Collier.
Narcissistic Colander for 0.5 point more. Cody Bellinger for 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs more. And Ronald Acuna Jr., 3.5 hits, runs, and RBIs more. 20 to win 160. Hit submit. Pimp's going pimp. Don't say I don't help you out, guys. You tell me how poor you are. Download the Prize Picks app. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more.
Man.
When you open up a new Prize Picks account with the promo code Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Monty, Monty. Open up a new Prize Picks account. You win. Brent 2 says Aaron Judge is awesome. Too bad he plays for the Yankees. Well, there is that. Monty, get back to college football. Well, I can't play Prize Picks on college football because college football isn't going right now. Idiot. Cubs have the best outfield in baseball. Yeah, and the worst rotation in the world. The Cubs bullpen has been a surprise. Let's be honest. Their rotation has been garbo. And we have an offensive out. We're probably the best defensive team in baseball, the Cubs, if we're truth telling. You're lock solid up the middle. It just depends on who you're playing at third base. But I mean, if we're being honest, if you're running Matt Shaw out at third base, you're fine. He's a great defender. He can't hit the weight of his testicles, but the guy can play third base. Carson Kelly's good. Michael Bush is actually better than serviceable. Like, they're really good defensively. We don't have starting pitching. Go and get Spencer Strider. Go and get the guy's name who just went out of my head from the Marlins. Go get my homie from the Marlins. And let's stop playing these Alcantara. Let's stop playing these games. You are on the line against the Brewers, who are off, so you picked up half a game tonight. But the Cubs, there's a good chance. My guy, Greg Hawkins, sent me a DM last night on Twitter, Insta, Snap Talk, when he said, yeah, I'm a betting man, and I bet that the Cubs won't be in first place at the All-Star break. Now, it's Thursday, and the All-Star break starts Sunday, so let's hope that's not the case. But you have some work to do here if you're the Cubs. And if you don't make a trade for a notable starting pitcher, yeah, I don't disagree with a 2-game lead that you're probably not in first place at the end of this thing. You're 55-38, and sputtering is probably strong.
Yeah, did not go into the All-Star break on the right foot.
But the Cubs have an easy schedule heading to like this last series. They're playing like the worst team in baseball, I think, right? No, they're playing the New York Yankees at the stadium for 3. And it's a bullpen game tomorrow. And then we've got Boyd, who's probably our best pitcher on Saturday, and Shota to close out the first half on Sunday. You think we're winning 2 of those 3, and the Yankees are not playing well? You think we're winning 2 of those 3? Yeah, somehow I don't see that. I think we could probably win Saturday, and Shota's a big game pitcher, so let's see it. But they're 51-41, and they've won 3 straight. Now, granted, that was after losing like 71 straight against the Jays and the Mets. Don't get me started. Willie, Cubs are second in MLB in runs saved this season behind only the Braves. And I'm telling you, PCA makes more plays than anybody gives him credit for. And trust me, I'm a huge Cub fan, double season ticket holder. I have tickets at Spring and at Wrigley Field. We don't have starting pitching. That's a huge problem. Bellinger went 1 for 3 with a double earlier this year against Wu, and I'm hoping he does it again.
Hopefully.
As a Cub fan, our rotation scares me. Everything else is great. I don't even disagree with that. I think you're right. The bullpen's been a surprise. It's been a surprise. AJ will take BYU to the Final Four, maybe all the way. Hey, man.
Yeah, but that's not the point. This isn't a hate on AJ show. This is a hate on bandwagon fans that were Victor fans and now are AJ fans.
Oh, boy. And now Big Daddy Magic wants to choose some violence. You're not a Cub fan. You're a Philly fanatic, Monty Yum Yum. Okay. I'm here for it, BYU hater. I'm here for it. And when AJ Debanza comes on the show, I'm going to tell him to watch out for Big Daddy Magic, the Utah Ute fan.
Yeah, the poser. BYU's had a problem, messing around with Utah fan posing as BYU fan lately. So,
Yeah, you in his DMs on Instagram?
Yeah.
Big Daddy Magic, relax. Like, he gets all upset. Speaking of the NBA, does LeBron James hate DeAndre Ayton?
Certainly
Or,
don't
excuse
like
me,
that guy.
DeAndre Ayton? Because DeAndre Ayton says he doesn't exactly feel welcome in La La Land.
Andre, have you spoken to LeBron? Have you spoken to Luka?
Not really yet, but I've definitely got a text from Luka. I know how the off season goes. This is not my first rodeo. People are probably busy and training and having times with their families. But I'm just waiting. I'm just really just trying to integrate myself with the team and get to know everybody.
Jake, is this a problem for the LA Lakers?
I mean, it's definitely not, hey, LeBron welcomed me with open arms and everything's amazing. Like, it's not, he said it without saying it, right? Hey, I heard from Luka but I know how the offseason goes, so I'm just looking to, get ingratiated with the team. Meaning, hey, I know how the offseason goes. No, I didn't hear from Bron. And no, I'm not going to make a fuss about it because this is a LeBron James-led team, and I'm not that guy.
I'm telling you, DeAndre Ayton's a problem. And I think that, one, he's soft as hell. And two, whether he meant to or not, he called out LeBron James right there. And what he should have said was, oh, yeah, it's been great. Everybody's welcomed me with open arms. Not, hey, Luka texted me and LeBron called me. It's been great. Yeah, I've heard from a lot of folks, and everybody's welcomed me with open arms, and I can't wait to get on the floor with Luka and LeBron. And, I'm excited about the way I fit into this offense, even though I'm soft as hell and can't catch the ball. They'll figure it out.
And I don't want to play defense, and I'm going to be a liability under the rim, but, it's fine.
I have the attention span of a gnat on defense, and, I get dunked on all the time, but it's fine. I am worse off than LeBron's hairline, but we're going to figure it out. Like, that's what you should have been saying.
There's a reason that people call me DeAndre Ayton.
But instead, now we have a controversy where LeBron hasn't talked to him, and it's like, dude, why? Like, I'm going to die on the hill of DeAndre Ayton was not a good decision to sign him by the Lakers. He got bought out in Portland for a reason. He sucked in Phoenix and got benched in the finals for a reason. So the Lakers thought, like, is this the one where you're like, yeah, I know he was dysfunctional as hell in his prior relationships, but him and I are in love, and I can fix him.
I can make it so he doesn't have brick hands.
He will love me. I will make him love me. We're together forever. Forever. He's my AJ DeBanza. We're together forever. Like, that's what this feels like. You're Jenny, and this is your friend Kyle, and you're in love, and he's not. And you're like, he's going to love me. We're making babies. The problem, that's too much. The problem is
these balls.
The problem is DeAndre Ayton has never felt his balls because he can't catch balls.
And he's going to cost the Lakers probably 5 or 6 assists a night by not catching the basketball.
Aaron Wilson for $2 says, call me Mr. 6-0. You're a stud, dude. You are a stud. It's fine. Yeah, I'm a Ute hater. Thank you. I appreciate that. But Monty gives 5 Monty Show memberships.
Nice, dude.
Go. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the Monty Show. Do you care about LeBron at all in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what I know is that the playoffs this past year were not great. The fact that we have to try to come up with like storylines, or like we have to try to come up with conversation pieces around the playoffs sucks. I wish that. I wish that there were more stars in the playoffs this past season. No KD, no Bron, obviously no Steph. Tatum goes out. It just wasn't a great playoff cycle. And I think that this Ayton acquisition is not going to do anything for him. We know who this guy is. He's nothing special. He's overpaid. He's an absolute bust as a number 1 overall pick. And he thinks he's amazing. He thinks he's just the best that there ever was. And stats guy nerd is going to tell you that his sortables and all his analytics have him on par with Jokic. Well, what I'm here to tell you is the stats may say one thing. DeAndre Ayton is an absolute, negative on the floor. And there will be loads of times every single night where they play pick and roll with him and he does not catch the ball. It's a turnover back on defense. And that's why he plays on losing teams.
Yeah. Is it a problem that, LeBron hasn't texted DeAndre Ayton? It's not. DeAndre Ayton, at the end of the day, is there anybody who believes DeAndre Ayton's make or break for the Lakers? If they get him, he's not.
Hell no. And the problem is, to double down on that point is like, dude, you signed a guy in Ayton who is in my opinion a negative for you on the floor, and you did that from the buyout market. Obviously, Portland buys him out the $16.6 million, so he's got his money already. what's the incentive for DeAndre Ayton? Because the situation you're entering arguably is not better than the one you had in Phoenix at one point. You went to the finals, dude. You were playing for a championship, and that was not good enough for you. Like, you're telling me it's not like playing for the Larry O is not enough to make it so that you'll lock in. It's not enough so that you'll say, yep, I'm going to really focus on catching the basketball. Because, again, he's not the first or the last player to struggle to catch a basketball, right? Like, there are many guys in the league who do not excel at catching the ball, but they do other things really well that make up for that deficiency. The problem for DeAndre Ayton is he doesn't catch the ball. He doesn't want to rebound. He does not want to be physical with whoever his matchup is. And on the defensive end, he loses his matchup all the time.
Yeah.
So you wind up getting wide open looks that shouldn't be there and frankly can't be schemed for. And so that's why I say, if you think about LeBron James-led teams, what do we know about LeBron James-led teams and what the big does in that system? Well, the big is either going to pick and pop, pick and roll, or get the hell out of the way. And again, I can already see it. Bron's bringing the ball up. He's on the wing. DeAndre Ayton comes to set the pick. Rolls perfectly. LeBron, perfect pocket pass. DeAndre Ayton blocks it, goes down the floor for a post or dunk. Like, how many times is that going to happen this year?
Yeah, I think a lot.
So is it a good acquisition? No. But did they have another choice? Not really.
Brent 2 says, I don't think LeBron hates Ayton, but he will be the new scapegoat. Oh, he will. There's no doubt. 801 West Valley. If I'm LeBron, I wouldn't want Ayton either.
No.
I agree. Hopefully it will make Ayton want to work harder. Only superstars in La La Land. But
dude, you played for a championship.
Ayton was in the finals and could not do it.
You could have a ring right now, bro. Like, Phoenix could still be together, but you cost them so dearly that it broke up and you got shipped to Portland. Now you got bought out because you didn't because all the DeAndre Ayton defenders are saying, well, he didn't want to play in Portland. He didn't try. He wanted out of Portland so bad that he gave up $10 million extra. Come, get the hell out of here, dude. That guy didn't try. Whatever. He's got a poor ass attitude.
If he quit on Portland, that tells you everything you need to know about DeAndre Ayton.
Agreed. Completely.
It tells you everything
if
you need to know. If you
quit on Portland, I don't want you on my team, dude.
Yep. Big Daddy Magic. LeBron needs to retire. It's Victor and AJ show now. Stop. Come on, man. But Monty. LeBron's still a huge player, but I can't help but feel like he's been in the league too long. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. He's been in the league forever, man. I was at his first game in 2005, 2004, whenever that was, in Sacramento. I mean, it feels like he's been in the league for my entire life, but he's still playing at an exceptionally high level. I mean, you can make the argument who it is. LeBron's in the conversation as the best player in the world today, right now. I think that says something. And then I go to this situation about, with Devin Booker and the Suns.
Bro.
And I think you all know I'm a huge Devin Booker guy. I've got his shoes on right now.
And the knee pads.
No, not yet. I'm a huge Book guy.
Yeah.
I love Devin Booker. He's my favorite player in the NBA. I'm not paying him $63 million. Or what is 62 and a half?
Over with the extension over the 5 years of his deal, it takes his average AAV to 63.2.
You're out of your mind.
The extension on its own is 72.4, I think.
You're out of your mind.
I'm not paying buddy $70+ million. I'm not paying him 60+.
You're out of your mind.
And I'm not paying him 50+. The guy in modern day NBA money is a $40 million a year player. Great scorer. I would say pretty solid passer, not elite passer, but very solid. Much improved defender, can give guys problems. Definitely a good team culture guy, can be a leader when you don't have an alpha. Like, this guy's an Olympian. Like, he's a good player.
I love Book. He's not paying him that much.
$70 million a year good.
The question is that the guy you build a franchise on?
No.
I don't think he is.
No.
How did it not work with Book and KD? Okay, well, there's a lot of dysfunction and Brad Beal, and you didn't buy him out and you didn't trade him, and it's difficult. chemistry,
it looks like Budenholzer
coaching
was just awful.
It sounds like an absolute disaster. And was it Devin Booker's fault? No. But you cannot pay this guy $63 million a year and trade everybody else away and say, okay, Devin, it wasn't your fault. We're going to rebuild around you. That's a mistake. You've got money. And I love Book. You should have traded Devin Booker. For Devin Booker and for the Suns, you should have traded him. Because I frankly don't have the belief that the Suns know what they're doing in building a roster. And as a Book fan, you should have traded him to the Knicks, and he probably would have liked to have gone to LA.
Right.
But I'm just not. This contract's a mistake. And again, I think Book is amazing, but how many in this room believe that Devin Booker is a guy that should be getting $63.5 million a year?
Well, and it kind of feels like, too, like, you know, it's like, okay, well, we traded everyone away. You're the last guy, so you're going to get the money.
Yeah.
Like, I often wish I could ask Devin Booker, like, dude, you talk about wanting to win and being Mamba mentality and Kobe was your idol.
Nah, bro.
You're not that guy, right? Like, you're taking the money over winning. And I understand it. Hey, man. Multi-time millionaire now, right? Set for the rest of your life. Everything's perfect. I'm with it. I love that for him. But instead of doing 70 a year, dude, go do 50 a year on a winning team. Go play meaningful basketball because you're not going to do that in Phoenix now.
Yeah, I hate this.
And how old is he?
Book.
What is he, 28?
I hate this for Book. The pressure that he is going to be and maybe he just doesn't feel pressure.
28 years old.
Yeah, he's 28.
Like you're not getting younger, dude.
Yeah, but his best years are in front of him, I hope. Because he's good enough to win multiple championships, but he's that guy who's too loyal and he will win none. If he and again, I'm not trying to be a hater. If Devin Booker stays in Phoenix, my bet would be they don't win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Especially paying him $63.5 million. That money just does not add up. It does not add up.
Not a chance.
LeBron is still a huge player. I would agree. Okay. I don't care LeBron James for what? What do you mean?
Okay.
I didn't put that together. Montana. Basketball is the third place league behind NFL and college football. Maybe that's a different discussion. You're going to Amazon Prime, so your reach is going to get better. I think their new TV deal helps them. You got to fire Adam Silver as commissioner.
Dude,
the All-Star game is terrible. The All-Star game is terrible. And frankly, I think, and I know OKC fans are going to hate it, OKC Indiana is brutal. I don't need that in the finals.
No.
And I think the league is just in that down cycle now. And that's why Cooper Flagg has to be a monster, right? I mean, I think most of us believe he will be. He's in the summer league tonight, and it's allegedly $700 to get a summer league ticket to see Cooper Flagg tonight.
Yeah.
$700. So there's some people who want to see him play in the summer league.
Yeah, I think the problem is that the CBA and like the new money rules and everything have made it so you don't have franchises that are able to, just outspend the little guy. And, that's what we used to have, I feel like. You used to have this situation where, it's just like in baseball, right? Where the Yankees are spending out of their ass to get all this talent. And, they win games because of it. But that's not the situation in the league anymore. So now you have parity, which sucks.
Oh, boy. How about this story? The Chargers, you get what you put out in the world. Adam Schefter, statement from agent Doug Hendrickson on his client, Chargers running back Naji Harris. Naji Harris was present at a 4th of July event where a fireworks mishap resulted in injuries to several attendees, including Naji Harris, who suffered an eye injury during the incident, but is fully expected to be ready for the upcoming NFL season. And
when will dudes learn? Honestly.
Why are you guys so obsessed with fireworks that you're willing to go blind or blow your fingers off? I'll never understand it. And the memes that go, we talked about this on the show.
Yes.
There are people in this country, 4th of July morning, there are people in this country who woke up for the last time with 10 fingers. And that's accurate.
Dude, National JPP Day, July 4th.
Brutal. Well, I hope Naji's all right. He's a phenomenally talented running back, but I don't know. All right, back to the NBA. Well, Wasikowski, you might be right. Did you guys see Nikola Jokic said he will not sign an extension with the Nuggets?
Wants to get that bread.
And my feeling is he probably doesn't want to play in Denver anymore.
No.
With all the turnover and all the change. And
well, and obviously he's won, right? So, like,
the Porter brothers aren't on the roster anymore, so his prop betting's gone out the window.
Damn.
I would agree Nikola Jokic, probably the Lakers are a decent fit, but I don't know. Is he a major market guy? I could see him going to New York, play for the Knicks.
He's definitely a major market guy.
Right?
Yeah, I think I think if you're a top team in the league, a big brand, you're certainly competing for Jokic. I mean, again, if the Lakers had Jokic, totally different conversation. That's a championship caliber team.
Yeah, I think he is very, very good. I just wish the NBA would have had. We need Chicago, Detroit, New York, LA, Dallas, Houston,
Miami
to be good again. And hey, if what's OKC going through right now? Well, you're paying dudes a ton of money now.
Yeah.
How's that 71 guys deep on your roster thing look now when you just paid everybody a max contract? Not good. Right? But we don't, obviously, I think you guys heard the news. The Bulls are no longer an NBA team. They got demoted to third-tier European football.
Oh, okay.
We don't even try. Well, Big Daddy Magic still got a red ass. You're not a Devin Booker fan. You have a perfectly good French guy in Chicago. You can be a bandwagon jumper. I'm not a Bulls fan. There's nothing to be a fan of.
Yeah, what's there to like?
We don't even have a star player. We quite literally traded Zach LaVine, DeMar, and Caruso and didn't get a single draft pick in return.
Bro, you made Caruso an NBA champion. Do you realize that?
And we got a Chomo and not a first-round pick.
Chomo.
We Mr. Under 15.
Bro.
Hey, look here, man.
And now we're trying to give that guy a max extension. Okay. Let me know when Reinsdorf trips and falls in front of an L train. I'll be a Bulls fan.
You don't always have to be negative.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, a Chomo.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Can't.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Dude.
I mean, whatever.
Well, yeah, this is Jerry over here in the front office. Yeah, we'd like to bring your Chomo over here, and you can have headband. What do you think?
We got a lot of teenage high school girls that come to our games who'll love it.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Like,
you know?
Do you understand? We traded Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and weed at the airport guy Caruso, and didn't get a first-round pick.
Yeah, bro. I don't.
And now, when the Jazz at one point were ready to overpay for Patrick Williams, we said no. Now the Bulls want to trade Patrick Williams, and they can't find a taker. How many times have I told you about Patrick Williams on the show? Oh, Monty, but he's going to be amazing.
But Monty.
No, he's not. Screw but Monty. The Bulls are a joke. Patrick Williams was never a star. Ayo Dosunmu should be a star, but they've wasted him. Lonzo Ball, he's in Cleveland now.
Bye.
Get a first-round pick for him? Go look it up. Whatever. LBJ was second-team All-Pro last year. He has donated millions to charity. Booker was really good in the Olympics. I don't even disagree with you. Right? Hey, Devin Booker is a good player. He is not the guy that he's not SGA. He's not the guy you can singularly build a franchise around and win a championship. And who wants to play in Phoenix right now? Not Brad Beal. Right? And Bradley Beal's calling his shot now. Hey, inside sources tell Chams your mommy that Brad Beal wants to go be a Clipper when he's bought out. Screw you, Brad Beal. What, Charlotte doesn't have a roster spot for your dead ass? I want to go to the Clippers. Shut up. That guy's so, do you know how much 801 West Valley, D-Book equals Klay Thompson's good sidekick. Devin Booker's better than Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's an elite three-point shooter. He's a better shooter than Book. Book's a better all-around player. Spot on, Morty. Patrick Roybal says, spot on, Monty. Silver is dragging this once great sport down. Half the league makes the playoffs. Playoffs last 2 months. Breathe on a guy. It's a foul. Exactly. Give me Rick Mahorn. Charles Oakley. Then we can play. You want to play. Montana. What is the NBA cap each year? Not enough.
Google it, dude. Why does it matter?
They don't have a singular cap. They have an apron system, a tax system. For this year, it's $154.6 million. Luxury tax threshold's $187 million. So they don't have a hard cap. I gave Devin Booker a ride to Tahiti when I was a tour guide. He was with Kanye and the Kardashians. Goddamn right.
Well,
did you hear this Kanye sexual assault story?
Oh, yeah. No.
Go look it up. It's wild. It's wild. Now NBA suck now. Okay.
Now NBA suck now.
Are you having a stroke? NHL has parity. What does that got to do with the price of tea in Toronto? Yeah, I agree. Jokic is definitely going to LA, and you love to see it. Bailey Dietrich. Knicks hired former Cleveland coach Mike Brown. Really?
Whoa.
Wow, you're breaking news 3 days ago.
Wow,
nice job,
bro.
Mike Brown.
That's the best you could do.
Wasikowski, I'm still asking Monty when that punishment is coming. They said 30 days. No. I think they are waiting for an appropriate space and time to announce Michigan's sanctions. What they will be, up in the air. I love that Michigan fan believes they're just getting away scot-free. Oh, we're not getting punished.
It was just cheeseburgers, Morty.
Bro, we were out here buying cheeseburgers for hungry kids, and you want to rip Scully's over it?
Scully's.
Is this the dagger? You're telling me that just because we sold a couple of vacuums to old women who needed to clean their triple wides, you're gonna drop show cause orders on our guy? Captain America was buying cheeseburgers for kids, and you want to rip our natty? No, come on. No, it's none of that. It's where you guys were repressing the First Amendment rights of your students. That
doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
That one. Stadium guy James. Monty isn't wrong. The Bulls traded for a Chomo. Monty, you rock.
Dude, you're a man of God. You cannot use that type of terminology.
Listen, it's not Christ that scares me.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
It's the Christians. I'm just going to run that out every day, apparently, on this show. Because now Captain Rectory is dropping Chomo bombs.
Dude.
And look, you do you. You do you.
It is championship week. Yay.
In the Rectory. Championship week in the Rectory. The Boy Scouts are coming in.
Dude, James, how's the Honda doing, bro? Is the Honda still running?
Is the Honda still running?
Yeah, is the Honda still running, dude?
Okay, listen. Oak State James and everybody else who drives a Honda, listen. It's okay. Somebody has to drive them, right? Soft men make soft cars. You do you. Just because I drive an American car, a good old Jeep. I think it's Italian now, isn't it? Pretty sure nobody owns American car brands anymore. But listen, you want to drive a Honda? We'll mock you for every day. It's fine. Just pull up and park in back of the Rectory. Got money. What do you got to lose, right? All right, couple more on the NBA, then we got to get rolling. Kaner and BYU could play for the Big 12 championship and make the playoffs. No nose candy this morning, Kay?
That's right.
Booger sugar? Are you out of your mind? There's nothing that said listen, you're right. If my grandmother had tires, she'd be a bike, right?
That's right.
BYU could play for a Big 12 championship. Certainly.
Y'all
Certainly.
reading all this cap ass shit.
There is no question about that. No doubt about it. If, again,
My aunt or my uncle.
she'd have balls, but she's not, so she don't. BYU could go undefeated this year.
The biggest load that we've seen.
Come
BYU
on.
could go undefeated this year. There's no doubt about it.
Come on.
You're a homer is the first part.
And if Michigan hadn't been caught red-handed cheating, they'd be an undisputed national champion. But they did, so they're not, and they never will be. It is what it is. Eric says 26 classes looking pretty good. Yeah, Notre Dame's class of 2026, dude. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Locked.
Yeah, those Christians are ready.
I'm telling you. You look at, you're right. You're right. The class of 2026 has a lot of talent in it. You look at USC, great class of 2026.
Yeah.
Look at
Joey. I mean, come on.
Ohio State, great class. Joey McGuire, great class.
First team all-0 blitz on the goal line guy. Yeah. That guy. Class of 26 is looking
Way
great.
to call it out. I love it. Fight on Natties. WNBA, as always, lost money every single season and wants more money. I don't know if they're naive or just plain stupid. Do you know how much money people are paying for expansion teams in WNBA? I mean, who doesn't want to see Angel Reese miss her first 71 shots? Are you kidding me? I mean, that's why they're paying so much, right? For Angel Reese. That's what RG3 said.
Google me.
Yeah, I win. Google me.
I got the YouTube TV.
Illumindersky, I just got here. What did I miss? Nothing. Big Daddy Magic, 13.6 is what AJ will get for being the #1 pick next year. Why do you care? You hate AJ.
Yeah, you're not a BYU fan, dude.
AJ plays at BYU. You hate BYU. You hate AJ.
Yeah, you're a Utah guy, remember?
Why do you get so Big Daddy Magic? Why do you get so locked on things?
Which is different than the other locked on, just so we're all clear.
Yeah, very different. Why do you get so fixated on AJ DeMansa now? Like, how are you even saying nice things about BYU? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. Do you not feel dirty? Do you not feel like a bandwagoner?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
And you honestly expect us to give you a long sleeve 3X Red Bill shirt?
BYU won't go close to undefeated with a true freshman quarterback. Hey, listen. Why would you say that?
What is this dude's name? Bren7W or
Bren2.
Bren2. Yeah.
Why would you say such hurtful things? Caden Urin says it's possible for them to go undefeated.
Back to the envelope calculations.
If I worked at Fox News, I could be a 5-star general, but I didn't, so I'm not. They're not going undefeated. The stadium guy, I'm in my Civic, headed to Waco. I'll bet my car outlasts your Jeep. I'm going to say that's not a bet you want to take.
Listen, after the diagram that TJ Beck put on for us yesterday, the fact that you park your Civic by the rectory, the back door to the rectory.
Hey, it's the shortest route to the body of Christ.
I know, dude. You got to exchange bodily fluid in the church. I totally get it, dude. I understand.
You are not.
Why? But Monty, AJ DeBansa will be starting quarterback at BYU, natty bound.
Right.
I'm running out of. If James was Jewish, he wouldn't be a pastor investigating pedo priests, but he's not. So he does, and he is. And AJ DeBansa is not a basketball player. He's a football player. He's the starting quarterback at BYU because Jake Retzloff apparently did some things he shouldn't have done.
What now? Let me tell you what now.
Parked that car in the wrong driveway at the wrong school, and all of a sudden, boom, out of here. Right?
Apologize to that man.
No, apology ain't going to cut it in the eyes of. I should probably stop. You guys really put a smile on my face. Call it like it is. The late afternoon time slot is great for me. Retired and don't get up until 11. Great.
Damn, dude.
You know, the funny thing is me and Mrs. Monty were laying in bed copulating this morning. And didn't happen. I'm married. No, the point is we were laying in bed this morning and she gets up every day because And my wife has a mental defect that forces her to exercise.
It really hit me.
I don't have that mental defect. I'm completely normal.
Totally.
She gets out of bed and she does like these cardio workouts, and we're stretching and we're pulling this and stretching that. And we're just like, dude, it'd be nice to sleep in, get another extra hour until, 5:30. I laid in bed till 5:30 today, and I thought I was at Graceland. Like, just give me cocaine in a toilet and I'll be Elvis. I mean, Willie, you do you. You sleep till 11. I love it. Breaking, running back, Chargers running back.
Bro, dude, bro, we just talked about this.
Oh, no. Try to. Wasikowski. Monty is a NC fan because Jordan. Talk about bandwagon. Oh, yeah. Back in my, 4 years on this earth when Michael Jordan was playing at North Carolina and I was growing up in Chicago. Everybody's, talk about bandwagon. What are you're a jackwagon. You're a Michigan State basketball fan, you turncoat. What are you talking about? You literally sat on this show rooting for Michigan State. I'm a Michigan fan, Monty. Go Sparty. Dude, don't even come in here talking about John Blackwelder, OSJ Civic fits well in the rectory.
Dude.
Did you just drop a 3-letter pseudonym on Oak State James? Believe you did. Big Daddy Magic, AJ doesn't go around showing his chocolate ice cream like Jake shows his kosher pickle. Is it past your bedtime?
Dude, what am I even supposed to say to that?
Okay. Big Daddy Magic, AJ, the band that goes for a hike on Thursday. I'm going to catch him one of these days. Okay. Don't get arrested. Wasikowski, Monty is always salty after vacation. When was I on vacation? Was I on vacation recently?
Chicago.
Is that vacation? 3 days off is vacation? I'm not any kind of salty. You see your president saying, no, every decision comes through me. Pete Hegseth stopped that shipment stuff to Ukraine. What do you say about that? I don't know. What do you say about that?
You tell me, Monty. Come on.
How about that? So the Secretary of Defense makes a unilateral decision to not ship weapons to Ukraine. Donald Trump is asked about it by 3 different reporters. And his answer is when they say, well, who stopped those shipments then? Because Donnie was like, well, every decision's made by me. Well, then
what is this? A few good men?
How did you not know that the shipments had stopped? Then who stopped them? I don't know. You tell me. And then he's like, what about Texas? Sir, what about Epstein? I want to talk about Texas. Okay. And then he starts talking about Texas today. And if you're Donnie, you're having a bad day. When Peter Ducey, the dickhead from Fox News, asked Donald Trump, well, hey, yeah, while we're talking about Texas, what are your thoughts on the folks in Central Texas in Kerr County turning down $5 million in emergency infrastructure money from the Biden administration because they wanted to wait for you to get elected and then you cut that money out of your budget. And now a bunch of people are dead from a flood. Your thoughts, sir? I want to talk about Epstein. When Fox News is turning on you, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, he did say he did. Yes. Okay. Eric roots for Michigan football and Michigan State basketball. Clown behavior personified. Yeah. And then Eric will be like, oh, well, Monty's jumps. I guarantee you today he drops. He's trying to say I predicted World War III, which I never did. I guarantee you it's coming. Jeremiah Champion, feels like you're a little salty here, Eric. Yeah. You been on vacation, bud?
Yeah. You been on vacation or?
You worried about hurricane season down there without no forecasters? This Texas story, by the way, in all seriousness, Texas story is tragic. If you have the money, I would implore you that the fact that they wouldn't take money from the Biden administration, the Biden administration allocated $5 million to Kerr County for a advanced notification system for flash flooding. And it would have given an hour and 45 minutes of warning. It would have set out like audible alarms. You've heard those before, right?
You think an hour and 45 minutes would have made a difference here?
They're saying that you could have been notified an hour and 45 minutes in the county, because that county is known for flash flooding. This is not news. This was not a one-time event. The veracity probably was historic, but Kerrville and Kerr County have routinely dealt with floods. The government in Kerr County turned down the money because it was from the Biden administration. And they assumed Donald Trump would allocate that money, and it never happened. And now this flood happened, and now Greg Abbott is on the dais today again saying the federal government needs to send us money to help us get out of this. It's incredibly tragic. It is incredibly tragic. I just don't know how you unscrew the situation in Central Texas.
Yeah, that's brutal, bro.
Because it's this enclave. And if you guys don't know where the floods in Texas happen, it's essentially look at a map of Austin, Texas, and just look left. There's not a whole lot there. You understand why there's flash flooding, and there's always flooding there. But you got to get a warning system in place. Who cares where the money's coming from? Who cares where the money's coming from? It's remarkable to me. It is absolutely remarkable to me. I admit I'm a bandwagoner, but no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. This is true. There it is. There it is. Monty's just upset World War III didn't happen. So predictable. He did, Monty. Humans control weather? No. But what humans do control is notifying human beings when hurricanes and tornadoes and flash floods are going to happen. If you listen to the weather professionals, and of course now, because like we need to hear from them, all of the fired National Weather Service forecasters in Texas are coming out of the woodwork saying we would have predicted that. We saw it. We knew it was going to happen. We tried to tell people. That's the last thing we need to hear. But the truth is, you cut the National Weather Service there, so the people who forecast and warn us, hey, there's a flash flood, hey, there's a tornado, hey, there's a hurricane, hey, evacuate the Gulf Coast, hey, and that's who predicts the weather. There's no winning in this situation. I think a lot of people want to make this a political issue, but I'm just going to continue to say what I always say when this stuff comes up. We're not Democrats or Republicans. We're not liberals or conservatives. We're Americans.
People died, bro. Like,
not people, hundreds of people, dozens of children. And it never had to happen. They're in a trailer, and if there had been alarms going off and you had an hour to get out of the line of flooding, you'd have been, I am sure people would have still died because most people don't leave. Look at Florida during hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have saved lives. And instead, people are dead because we didn't want Democratic money. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Anyway, out here in Eastern North Carolina, we only have Fox weather. Please pray for us. There you go. Go to timeout, Eric. Nah, Eric's cool. Eric stands on that.
At least he dies on his hill.
He stands on that business. Eric, do you need a hug? You seem cranky today. You do actually seem kind of cranky today. Welcome to the nightmare evening, guys. Ooh, you missed our last place prediction for UCF. Coming up super late after taking mom out for her birthday dinner. Where'd you guys go? Did you go to Popeye's Chicken?
Wait. Don't miss the last portion of his comment.
I know I missed a lot, so I won't ask exactly. Hey, did you go to Popeye's Chicken? Are you sure you didn't go to Popeye's Chicken?
But this is not what the chicken wings are supposed to look like. Like, look at the picture. Come on. And then when I tell you that the wings are supposed to be tossed, please look at the chicken they tried to fucking serve. No bullshit. This is the signature hot chicken, y'all. This is what it's supposed to look like. No. Another sauce. I don't want another sauce. I don't want another sauce. I want the sauce on the chicken properly. I know what I need it to be tossed. It should not like just be sitting on top of the chicken like shit. It looks like shit is on top of the chicken.
Bro, why do you guys eat fast food? I'm just going to say it. I'm going to ask. You guys always call me a snob because I don't go to McDonald's or I don't go to Jack or Wendy's. This is why I don't go. That's a chicken wing at Popeye's Chicken, the people who professionally make chicken, and you put it on there like it's icing on a piece of cake. I wouldn't have eaten it either. That's horrendous. And so again, I ask you, why do you guys eat fast food? Why? I'm on the line. Mrs. Monty and I are on the line where we're kind of hesitant to even eat Chipotle, which is sort of fast food. I cannot imagine going to Popeyes. Yes, Gabriel. Yes. The service at Popeyes is terrible.
Yeah, my question is, like, I feel like we all as humans have our go-to fast food spots, right? Like, if you're going to eat out, you know, like obviously you have your variety of options, but you know the spots you're most likely to go to, right? Like some people are McDonald's people.
Right.
You know, some people are Chick-fil-A people. You all have your cup of tea. But I have to say, I haven't been back to a Popeyes since we went to that one in South Phoenix, and it crushed me. Like, I'm not a fast food fried chicken guy. I'm just not. And I got to tell you, I rarely eat fried chicken. I haven't had fried chicken. I honestly can't tell you how long it's been. But if I was going to have fried chicken, it wouldn't be Popeyes. You know what it would be? Probably homemade. Honestly, because it's not hard to make fried chicken.
I'm not doing it.
Like, it's just not. And this video is currently viral because the sauce that they are supposed to be using, they're not doing anything with it. They just put the chicken in the box and put a little bit on top. They're not tossing it. They're not like what are we doing, bro?
It's terrible. That's what I guess I'll just talk about what I do. Well, what my wife does, because let's be honest, you boy ain't cooking nothing. Although I did make a microwave chicken breast today and some scrambled eggs. My wife comes home last night and she works like a big boy job. Like she has like an adult job.
Mm-hmm.
She comes home last night, drops chicken breast in the crock pot, makes this succotash that was amazing. Like it's squash and onions and corn. And he just whips it up and it's like, hey, here's dinner. And she gives me a chicken breast with succotash, no sauce, and it was delightful. It took an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And we have meal prep for the rest of the week. And it's less expensive than certainly that Popeyes would be.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people eat out at fast food restaurants? I will never understand it. I would rather fire up the Traeger in the backyard and make myself a burger.
It surprises me you don't use the Traeger more.
I don't have time. Like my life is about eating meal prep. Dude, I eat the same 5 things. A lot of people have asked me how I've lost weight and thinned out or whatever. You know what it is? I eat the same 5 things every day. I eat oats, creatine, collagen, chia seeds. For lunch, generally, I either have a Chipotle burrito or chicken breast, turkey meat, and some kind of vegetable. And then if I eat dinner, again, it's either a Chipotle burrito or meal prep that my wife made. That's it. You know what Heritage Flakes are? We have a bag of Heritage Flakes, which I ate dry last night because we didn't go to the store and get oat milk.
Mm-hmm.
That's my life is boring. I don't even eat Impossible Nuggets anymore. But guess what? What am I doing? I'm eating whole foods and I'm eating less than 3,000 calories. So I'm not gaining weight or losing weight. If I want to lose weight, I eat less than 2,500 calories. I lose 2 pounds a week. But you're not going I'm not going to $20 Chinese food, which I love. Right? In Chicago, when we ate out, the worst thing I ate in Chicago was hot dogs at Wrigley Field.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go to Superdog. Did I eat like a burger or anything in Chicago? No, the worst thing I had, probably the single worst thing I ate. On that super hot day, Saturday, I had one of those Cubs helmets those small Cub helmets with soft serve ice cream in it. That's probably the single worst thing I ate. Other than that, I had a couple of steaks. I had a little bit of pasta. Like, that's really it. Even when I'm eating out. Now, granted, eating out at a regular restaurant, screw you, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It is so expensive. But I'm not doing fried food, man. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Like this video, and I'll play it again for you.
But this is not what the chicken wings are supposed to look like. Like, look at the picture. Come on. And then when I tell you that the wings are supposed to be tossed, please look at the chicken they tried to fucking. No bullshit. This is the thing.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not cool, dude.
Would you walk away from the counter with that and eat it? The answer is absolutely not.
Hell
I would
no.
not. There's not a chance in the world I would. Chris Faithful, if I'm going to a regular restaurant, they better carry me from my car to the table and back. Dude, it is so expensive to eat out. We ate well in Chicago. But
that's different.
It wasn't, I can tell you, even when we go like in Salt Lake City, and Salt Lake City is not a food town. But even when we go and eat out here, it's at least $100 for two of us. It's so expensive. Like, it is ridiculously expensive. Is Five Guys fast food? Yes, it is. Ice cream, how could you? Dude, it was so hot in Chicago last Saturday. And it's all about having stuff in moderation. It feels better to make food at home for me. Me too, dude. I love eating good food. Like, and when I say good food, like Ruth's Chris for steak, or I love it. I'm a huge fan. I have trouble with how expensive it is because I just can't do it. I can afford it. I can't do it.
The premise is the problem.
It hurts my soul when you're paying $70 for a steak. Come on, man. I can't do that. I cannot do that. There's just no chance. There is no chance. Yeah, they did something extra to those wings. Yes, they did.
Yeah, those are rough, dude.
Yes, they did. I would ask for my money back immediately. 20 gives you 2 meals at Chick-fil-A. 20 at the supermarket can serve 5. I think Chick-fil-A is so overrated. I think it is so overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I did meal prep for the week for about $50. So,
yeah, if you go to Costco or Sam's, whatever your slice of life is,
yeah,
get the chicken breast, get an Instapot, and all you have to do is put a 1/4 inch of water in the bottom of the Instapot, put the chicken breast in there, season it to taste, and turn the thing on. It'll cook in 20 minutes. You've got chicken breast for the week. And then the cheapest thing you can buy at your grocery store is frozen vegetables. And so many people have these stigmas about frozen vegetables. Dude, put the frozen vegetables in the microwave. Pour them on top of your chicken breast. Boom, done. Calorie rich, nutrient dense. You will feel full because it's a ton of protein. That's all you have to do. If you are, what did Brent 2 say? What's your diet advice? I'm 375 and I struggle. Eat less calories. You got to walk. You got to be active.
What you need to do.
I play a lot of golf, so I walk a lot.
What you need to do, what nobody talks about is, yes, it's less calories, but within that, you need to pack more nutrient into less calories. So if you think about like when you eat out, like when you eat out, right? Like you have your classic, whatever place, but just like your classic burger, fry, soda setup or whatever, right? Your meal, right? That's like probably 1,500 calories through all 3 of those things that you just ate. And you're going to be hungry in probably 2 hours easily. Because it's just, there's nothing to it. But if you do the Instapot chicken with the frozen vegetables, and then let's say you got real crafty with it and threw some sweet potato on it because you would bake those over the weekend and you have them ready for the week, that's a meal that's going to probably keep you fed for 6-7 hours. And that's going to be well under 1,000 calories, depending on your portioning. So,
well, and like, you can't also drink your calories. So if you're a soda drinker, you got to stop that.
Yeah.
If you're a sugar drinker, you got to stop that. Like, you have to find the foods. Like I said, it's the 5 foods I like. I eat them all the time because I know I'll eat them.
And I'm a big proponent of figuring out and listening to what your body needs in the morning. Some people need to eat in the morning. Some people don't need to eat in the morning. Some people, for me, I know that a lot of days, if I have my dinner Like, we get done with the show around 6. If I can get my dinner in by, I'd like to get it in by 7, 7:20 at the latest, because I do like to cook my dinner. I like to have a quality dinner. Is one of those meals for me where I like to have a quality meal for dinner. It's always been better for me that way. I'm much more of a person that can pass on breakfast, heavy water in the morning. That's how my body works. But I just think you need to listen to your body and understand, okay, well, am I someone that needs that protein early, or am I someone that can wait till like 11 and drink my water? And,
yeah, I wouldn't complicate it that much. I get up every morning. The first thing I do is I drink 40 ounces of water. 2 hours later, I have oats, a half a cup of oats. You should be taking creatine every day. I'm telling you, I'm a huge believer in creatine and chia seeds. Have oats with berries. Eat chicken, eat vegetables, go for a walk. Try to start at 5,000 steps every day. Patrick Roybal looks like Triple Threads is a new fake account. I can't see because I think he got filtered. So there you go.
Triple Threads.
Always need the haters, man. Oh, look at that. Calford gifted 20 Monty Show memberships. There we go. Appreciate you, Calford. Thank you so much, as always. Dude needs a life. How many fake profiles he makes? It's low-key Talk's biggest fan. Like, again, you guys, I really don't. The haters make the show. They don't break the show. Like, if you guys want to comment away. I don't know what you did to get filtered. I can only see that you got filtered for 60 seconds. So you do you, man. If you're upset with the show or something I said, nobody's running from you. Conundrum, stick a needle in your thigh. Yeah, I'm not an Ozempic fan at all. I don't buy it. It's all about quality of the calories. I was 415, but I dropped 40 pounds. There you go.
Yeah, dude, you got it. The quality of what you ingest is super important.
Yeah. By the way, keep going. The only thing that keeps me, my wife, if I wasn't with my wife, I don't think I could eat well. I'm the easy button guy. She makes it possible, right? Like, I think you need a partner. I think you need to drink water, and I think you need to be active. It is what it is. Golf, I golf a lot. And when I didn't play golf last weekend, I was in Chicago and we walked everywhere.
So much to the point where your feet hurt you so bad you got a new pair of shoes.
I bought a new pair of shoes, Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support. I usually eat a light breakfast. There you go. Whatever works for you. Seth Hatmaker, what's up, Seth? Chili dog diet sounds like a conundrum, dude. Man, I love hot dogs. If I could have Costco hot dogs every day, I'd be dead. There's no doubt about that. Jeremiah Champion, we need a reaction show from y'all for what?
Reaction to what?
Reaction to what?
Yeah.
One of my go-to meal preps is ground turkey, diced sweet potato. My wife, she broils or bakes or whatever you call it. Bakes sweet potatoes. What she does is she cuts them up into wedges and into cubes, and she throws them in the oven for 45 minutes. It's the easiest meal prep. I'm more partial to sweet potatoes and gold potatoes, and she'll make wedges out of that stuff. Again, microwave it, put it in the fridge. For lunch, I will microwave a chicken breast or ground turkey, whatever baked potato wedges we have, and usually a vegetable to go with that. And on days like today where I have to go to the grocery store because I still haven't been grocery shopping since we got back, really. I went to Costco, but I'm a huge fan of like frozen sweet corn, peas and carrots. Like, I'll toss it in there. It's so good. And I'm not hungry for the rest of the day. It's amazing. Jeremiah Champion, sorry, new phone. Lots of type. Congratulations on the new phone.
You got an iPhone, right? I mean, obviously. I mean, you're not so silly as to have gotten a Droid, right?
Yeah. Okay, here's Triple Threads. It's not about quality of the show. It's about quality of the calories. Bro, if you don't like non-sports, you don't have to be here. I mean, that's cool. It is what it is. You want to come into the comment section and say ridiculous stuff, and then you wonder why you get filtered. Like, what are you doing? You really I'm amazed. This is the thing that I don't understand about guys like this idiot. You're spending hours of your life doing this. You're never getting those hours back. You understand how much time you are wasting? in your life right now, you could be doing, I don't know what else, spending time with your wife or your girlfriend, your family, exercising, but you're sitting here in our comment section. Like, I'm amazed by it. But you do you, man. Like, I appreciate you commenting. You help the show. That's great. I've been on for 10 minutes. Cool. That's awesome, dude. And I appreciate you commenting. Feel free, fire away. The comment section absolutely regulates itself. So you do you, man. Roche, $5 rotisserie chicken from Costco. Okay.
Dude, it's so good, bro.
I'm so glad you brought this up. Does the bag weird you guys out?
Yes. Yes. I much prefer, call me crazy, I much prefer the already chilled and chopped rotisserie chicken from Costco, not the hot one in the bag.
The problem with the already prepared one is it gets weird. After like 5 days, it gets a little slimy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. But I love fresh rotisserie chicken, but I'm anti-plastics. So I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, it's just not my thing. It's not what I do. So, rotisserie chicken's awesome. I love it.
Oh, it tastes amazing, dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
But, I can't do that with Smith's rotisserie. It's really good. Dude, I want to like Costco rotisserie chicken, but that bag weirds me out. That it's in a little plastic bag thing. I don't think my wife would let me buy one. I think she would be disgusted by it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, she's not like a big meat eater.
Well,
she likes fish. She'll eat some chicken or turkey, but that's really kind of her line. You'll never see my wife eat steak or a burger. Never. It's not happening. You give her some white fish of any kind. You give her salmon. We had great salmon at Tavern on Rush in Chicago. I did not. I had a steak, motherfuckers. But you give her some salmon, she loves that stuff. My wife is not tempted by like Five Guys burgers and I wish it was. I wish she loved burgers because I'm a huge Five Guys fan, but it is what it is. Jim Harbaugh should buy Victor some cheeseburgers so he can gain weight. Okay. Out of left field, James, but you do.
I mean, trying to be Big Daddy Magic, I guess.
Nightmare. What I didn't miss on today's show was people in the fields. Like, people on this show take things personally. Like, we talked about the Pac-12 yesterday, and it's amazing. How many times are people going to be like, "Oh, Gloria's paying you"? Okay. Like, Gloria Navarez doesn't even know I'm alive. Like, does not give a rat's ass about this show.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's not personal. The advantage that we have, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I don't have to, my feelings are not involved in Pac-12 Mountain West. They're not involved in BYU versus Utah or like it's not life and death for me. It is totally not life and death for me. Triple threads, fake Jake, BYU fans probably. Free Jake, BYU. Now we're BYU fans. See, there you go. Yesterday we were Utah fans. Today we're BYU fans. It all comes together. Roche, I cut it up and put it in containers before it goes in the fridge, dude.
Yeah, see, and that
second
might be
day
the fix.
rotisserie chicken.
I think that rotisserie chicken, that's cool. The one that I was saying that I like. I think the problem is if you leave it in that bag, it just doesn't have enough space to exist, basically.
Triple threat, 95% rambling, 5% sports. Go back to the beginning of the show. Every day, the last 30 to 40 minutes of the show are non-sports. You're new here. I totally get it. Every day, the last 30 to 45 minutes of the show are non-sports. We're about to talk about my mortgage that I'm trying to get. We do that every day on the show. So it's all good. Seth Hatmaker, Tavern on Rush, classic Chi-Town. Dude, I love it. And this is the first one that was in the new location. Jake and I almost went back in April, but I am a huge Gibson's Steakhouse fan.
And Gibson's was amazing.
That's my spot. Yeah. That's my spot. Who is this Triple Threads clown? No idea. No clue. The Natural, Triple Threads is a clown. He's entitled to his opinion. You guys regulate. You were talking about food, so I included Mr. Khakis and BDM in one comment. I
see. Okay.
Okay. Conundrum, chicken salad sandwich. Oh my God. Stop.
Bomb. Let's see the bread.
Again, right. Before we get to mortgages, because this mortgage stories is going to blow your mind. But so there's a neighborhood bakery, or I can't remember what it's called.
Village Baker.
Village Baker. Thank you. and they make really good sandwiches. And I've taken a liking to their tuna sandwich on dark rye with cranberry sauce. It's the greatest thing that should never be done together. It's amazing. It's amazing. I thought this was a blue cheese on wings show. Exactly.
Well,
the bag does weird me out. It gets soggy. It does get soggy. I can't do it. Gabriel, thoughts on In-N-Out?
Burger's solid.
The fries are
suck.
not good.
The shake is definitely on the sugary side.
It's not, and I'm not a shake guy either. But, Big Papa War Machine. We're in the post-coital phase of the show, Triple Thread. Some of them, some show them if you got them. I think that you're right. That's right. Willie, Mets 3 outs away from losing a doubleheader, going to watch some games. Have a great night. You too, buddy.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
Brent 2, cranberry sauce is amazing, and it is so good. I was getting their turkey cranberry sandwich. Everybody's got one, right? One day it just hit me. Put that cranberry on and it is on the tuna. It is so good. Suddenly I'm pondering becoming a Costco member. Yeah, my wife is sitting here in the studio telling me how weird it is that I like that. I love it. In-N-Out undercooks the fries. It drives me nuts. And I've done really well, although my French fry purge came to an end. I had fries in Chicago, but yeah. I've kicked my French fry addiction. I am Dr. Carter on ER. I went to like a 6-month rehab of not eating fries. And again, why have I thinned out a little bit? Not eating French fries. Fried potatoes are terrible for you. Soggy bag, no load zone. Exactly.
Right, no load zone. Yeah, yeah.
Attaboy. Calford blue cheese, pineapple, pepperoni show. Exactly. Yes, I put pepperoni on pizza. No, I never do. I put pineapple on pizza. Excuse me. Pepperoni's gross. You got to order the fries well done or animal style. I wish.
Or just don't get them.
The loaner phone. I need to be clear. Chia seeds just wiped me out today. What do you mean? I love chia seeds. I put them on my oats every day. So good for you. Chicken salad, chick, you'll thank me later. Okay. I'm into it. Hi, Mrs. Monty Yum Yum. Hello.
Mrs. Monty Yum Yum.
Triple threads, but on a real note, going to be a fun season. Good luck. We are pumped for the season. What are you a fan of?
Yeah, what is your...
I don't even know what you're a fan of. I have no... Triple threat. I have no idea what you're a fan of. You tell me. I'm happy to chat what you're a fan of. Gabriel, also eating healthier gave me more energy. I feel like garbage after eating McDonald's. True. He hates when I do it. I'll eat something and I'll be like, man, I feel terrible. Well, why do you always do that? Because I don't. Exactly. All right. Let's talk mortgage real quick because then we gotta run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at a mortgage on a house in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about moving to LA or at least having a home there. Bro, it is so uncomfortably expensive. So I've told you guys, I have a really small housing cost every month. I own my house in Salt Lake. And I have a nice house. I have a 3-story townhouse, not a palace. I have a golf set up in my backyard. Like I have turf, putting, net, all that. I have a good existence. It's less than $3,000 a month. So call my mortgage guy. Hey, man, I'm looking at this zip code and I want to spend no more than, should I say it out loud?
Yeah. I think you should, yeah.
I want to spend no more than $900,000. Orange County.
Does it feel weird to say that? Just generally speaking, does it feel odd to say that?
Not really.
No.
Because
that just seems like a ton.
But in today's world, I'm a realist. Yes, that's a lot of money. It's crazy. But I'm a realist.
Mm-hmm.
So we go through the process. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this. We're going to put this much down. What do you think the mortgage was on a $900,000 loan? Percent. $6,600 with a 6.2% APR.
Mm-hmm.
And I have elite credit. I have really good credit. And I'm just like, dude, is that worth it? Is that worth living where you want to live?
Because that would be in a spot that is like primo.
Laguna.
Yeah.
I want to live in Orange County. And I'm just like, dude, yes, Chuck B. 1,200 square feet, 3 and 2, $995 in Long Beach. We looked in Bixby Knolls.
Long Beach.
Bixby Knolls. Wanted to live in Huntington Beach, not even near the water. But I found this cool little spot in Laguna Hills. 0.6 of a mile from the beach. I don't know. I don't know that I can do it. Yeah, it is. LBC is OC adjacent. I love it. 2nd Street. Like, I love like Seal Beach, Long Beach, Belmont Shore, right by the Long Beach airport. All that is great. It's super expensive. Like, I don't know that I can do it.
Right.
I don't know that I can do it. And it's, Seth, don't overlook credit unions for mortgages. Yeah, we're going to explore. I mean, I have a really good mortgage guy, frankly. But I'm telling you guys, man.
Well, I mean, clearly on that amount of loan, the rate's going to be crucial, right? I mean, when you do like a car loan, obviously the rate matters, but the rate's not costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars, over the course of the loan. So, it goes without saying that, the rate's obviously going to be really important. But I also think like there's more to this conversation than just the numbers. The numbers obviously are big, but that's California, right? I mean, that's part of the, frankly, the experience of living in California and specifically in Orange County. And I think but the other side of the coin that I think, especially in your position with where you're at with your life and your financial picture being so strong, the other side of the coin is that, hey, like it is Orange County. Like you us have a lot of family there. Like you would love to live there again. Like and there's a lot of
my wife's side of the family all lives in LA and they're not getting younger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think it's a move that we probably have to make at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it going from a 3-point rate to a 6.2. And I'm looking at the prequel that the guy sent over today. And the guy is like raving about it, telling me, "Oh yeah, you're in the, what did he say? You're in the top tier. You're in the top tier with the best rates." Here, let me how about we shoot you 6.625 on a 30-year fixed. $6,200 a month on $900,000.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can do that. I can. I don't know that I want to do that. Shh, about our airport. Long Beach Airport's amazing. Pierre Gatling, I live in LA. Please let me know if you can find a mortgage for less than $1 million. There's a ton of property out there. What I'd like to do is pay $700,000 and renovate it. And get a construction loan. Buy the house, get a construction loan, and move in after it's done.
Yeah.
That's what I'd really like to do. But you either do that or do you pay $800 and $900 and live in Laguna, Newport, Costa Mesa?
Those are amazing areas, dude.
They are.
Like
Gumby says Long Beach, say hi to Snoop Dogg. Exactly.
I think the other thing too to consider is like, and we were talking about this, like, like only one of you has a commute. Potentially neither of you would have a commute, just depending on how it works out. You would probably, I don't know if you guys have got this deep into it, but maybe, at that point, you probably don't even need 2 cars at that point.
You probably don't.
You're probably, again, you're like, if you were to do that particular move, like you have a lot of valuable things that you just, 1, wouldn't have room for, and 2, probably wouldn't have use for that you could sell. So like there's the liquidation process, if you will, makes you a good bit of money too. So like, I think that I know the mortgage sounds outrageous. I can't believe I'm saying this. The mortgage does sound outrageous, but the more you start to think about it, you're like, yeah, dude, but if that's the barrier to entry, but I get all this stuff, then like it's like, all right, well,
Yep.
And the other point that I think is so prudent is like, you you guys have worked your ass off to be in the financial situation that you're in. So
and then I can play Pelican Hill once a month.
So, I think that's, but all jokes aside, right? I mean, that's the type of
$900,000. I don't know that I can afford Pelican Hill ever again.
But you know what I mean.
I do. You're exactly right.
Why
do we work hard if we're not going to enjoy the fruits of our labor?
Yeah. So I just think that it's to me, listen, if it was me and I had the ability to do it, and it wasn't a thing that it was going to make me just uncomfortably tight. Like, yes, it's more cost. Yes, obviously 6,200 is a lot different than sub 3,000, right? But like, if it's a thing where you can reasonably afford it, you're not dying to afford it. Like, I think it's fine. Really, I do.
Yeah.
I've always been the guy that have said, hey, like, if you're looking at something that's expensive, well, when you say it's expensive, what does that really mean? Yes, it costs more.
Is it a lot of money? Yes.
It is a lot of money.
Can you afford it?
Can you afford it? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because you have put yourself in a position to be able to do that. And I do think, by the way, it's worth noting, your lifestyle would be totally different living there this time. How many times have we talked about over the years doing the show that, hey, like, if we lived in California again, I would go to the beach more. Like, I would do more stuff. I probably wouldn't be home as much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I just think, I don't know. I think it's great.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to build a spec home, 2,200 square feet in Bluffdale. Price point $900,000 for 2,200.
That's my problem. Why is it $900,000 for 2,200 square feet in Bluffdale?
Because Utah housing prices are.
Oh, no, that's Buffalo.
No, Bluffdale. I think, yes, Bluffdale. He's here.
Oh,
Point
he
of
is
the
here.
mountain.
Okay.
I am telling you now, if you do not own a home in Utah, you probably never will. Because my opinion is, and talking to a mortgage guy today about this, we're getting to the point now where fully 70% of people under 40 years old cannot afford to buy a house in Utah.
What's the point?
Just can't afford it. And you're starting to talk about Washington State, Oregon State, California, Nevada even. There's a lot of Nevada that's unaffordable. Idaho, Utah, all unaffordable. Pricing people out of the market. If you're 40 years or less, renting now is becoming the only option. And even that you're getting priced out of the market on. And now you're seeing that in the more affordable markets, jobs are less plentiful because people are moving there. So what's happening? They're not affordable anymore. Salt Lake in Utah used to be this hidden secret. The secret's not hidden anymore.
No.
The secret's not hidden anymore. Yes, please hit the like button. Natural says my rate's 2.25. Must be nice. Monty and OC for sure. I heard a lot of teardown. I heard a lot of teardowns now. And listen, South Bay's great. Like, Redondo's awesome. Torrance is great. It's just not my slice of life. I probably would not go further north than the peninsula, Rolling Hills Estates. I'd love Long Beach. Again, Seal Beach.
Beach cities, dude.
Amazing. Amazing. Warm during the day, cold at night. Love it. LBC, cheapest in all of the South Bay. I'm a big Long Beach fan. Got to find the right unit, though. Anywhere Orange County west of the 5 is amazing. You're making me jealous. It is amazing. Plus, Long Beach Muni Golf is top tier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You might be able to buy a fixer-upper in Long Beach for $7,000. My girlfriend bought a duplex for $510,000 in Long Beach, 3.5% 4 years ago. Now it's at $760,000. Yeah. $900,000 in some areas is considered low rent district. It is. But why are you not, like, what? Weren't you moving to the Philippines, Loner?
Yeah.
You loved it there. Did you change your mind about moving? You know. Chuck B, you and Mrs. Monty can live in my LBC ADU. There you go. ADUs are a thing, man. Newport's the best. I love Newport.
The vibe in Newport is amazing, dude.
I've got great golf there. I've got great restaurants there. I've got great views there. I mean, there's not a lot other than the cost. Let that sink in. 900, not a lot of money, as crazy it is. Thailand moving. Oh, my bad. I keep saying the Philippines, dude. Thailand. Yeah, I think it's tough, dude. It is really it's something you really got to think about, because I don't know that My wife is really hesitant. And I don't disagree with her. I think we have such an easy existence right now. And I'm not being braggadocious or whatnot, but the way my life is set up, I rarely think about money.
Mm-hmm.
I do what I want, when I want, where I want, how I want. I sleep well. I live well. Drive a nice car. Drive nice cars. Play nice golf. Have nice golf stuff. Like, you're giving up a lot, but it's what's the worth? Because I keep telling you, you guys got to live your best life.
Yes.
You can't stop living your best life. All right, the Monty Show is always presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. 24/7, 365, you can get clear, risk-free advice. The way you want it, when you need it. Advocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard it on the Monty Show. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.